W. Harley Miller Systems understands the need and desire for reliable and affordable smart home solutions. Secure your home with a security system and keep a close eye on your family. Automate your home with a Control4 system and have smart technology work as one. Set daily schedules to control your thermostats. Push a button and set the mood for dinner by dimming lights and playing music, or just sit back and enjoy a movie in your own home theater. Put decades of experience to work for you. Visit us at whmsystems.com or call 304-350-1931.
If you're in an accident, the first thing that you have to do is call 911. You have to get medical care immediately.
The next thing you need to do is call us. When you hire us at the Skinner Law Firm, what we do is we are going to investigate your case and we're going to lay out the options that you have, all at no cost to you.
We will use all of our resources and all of our experience to get you what you deserve. That's what we mean by treating you like family.
Before the invitations and the dress, the flowers, cake, candles, or vows, there was an answer to a question proposed with a ring.
Bechtel Jewelers knows that an important part of your wedding happens before the I-dos. We're a diamond store with an engagement and bridal jewelry selection that's both exciting and accessible.
On the big day, there's everything else, and there's the ring. Make sure you get this one right at Bechtel Jewelers in Inwood.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%, Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
It's time for the excitement of NCAA Division II football, featuring the Shepherd Rams and the Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference. Today's play-by-play coverage is brought to you by Bechtel Jewelers, the Berkeley County Health Department, Brown Funeral Homes and Cremations, CMA Honda of Winchester, Jason Barrett for State Senate, Hagerstown Ford, the Mansion Ferretti Law Firm, and the Heffley Motor Company. Standing by is our TV10 broadcast team. So let's head to the field and get today's pregame show underway.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Jesdow Field on the campus of Southern Connecticut State University. I'm Nick Verzolini. Alongside me is my broadcast partner, Travis Smith, as we get you set for the 2022 Shepherd University Rams football season as the Rams open in New Haven, Connecticut against the Southern Connecticut State Owls. Travis, it's just good to be back for football and another exciting football season for the Shepherd Rams.
Absolutely. You couldn't ask for a better day. Beautiful weather. Barely a cloud in the sky, a nice breeze, and you have 2 football teams that are chomping at the bit to go out there and really get this 2022 campaign started. We have Shepherd coming off of a monster year last year, 13-2, appearing in the Final Four, and you also have Southern Connecticut coming back, trying to bounce back off of a 4-6 season, so both teams have a lot on the line today.
Yeah, this is a Shepherd team that, like you said, made it all the way to the national semifinals before losing to Ferris State. It was a great run. Had 2 Hail Marys there at the end to get to that point. And the Rams are hungry for a potential national championship run this year. That's the talk. But Coach McCook and his team know it start with the opener, and then they want to win the conference, and then they want to make it to the playoffs and go as far as they can. So one step at a time is kind of the mindset of this team at this point early in the season. And they'll have a lot to replace because grad students were a big part of the roster last year. It's a much younger team this year, Travis.
You just read my mind on that one because each year you would like to be able to build on the success that you had the previous year, but really you have to try to establish an entire new identity. Like you mentioned, a ton of grad students. Basically, their defense has to be replaced. Chunks on the offensive line and that wide receiving core. So what this Rams team has to do, they have to establish an identity for this year and see what type of team that they're going to be this year in order for them to put something together, get some chemistry going, and try to make a run into the playoffs.
And Southern Connecticut State was a team that went 4-6 a year ago, but the record might be a tad bit deceiving as their starting quarterback, Jackson Ostras, he went out last year with an injury, so they didn't have him and for the majority of the year. And they did get a win over an FCS program in Central Connecticut State. So this is a Southern Connecticut State team that could provide a challenge for Shepherd. And when you look at the experience, they seem to have the advantage in that category.
They have the young, talented quarterback coming back in Ostrowski, the 6', 205-pound sophomore. Only played 6 games last season, but he was able to complete 61% of his passes for 757 yards. He had 7 touchdowns to only 3 interceptions. He also added a rushing touchdown. That's not the nature of his game. He wants to drop back and pass the ball, but he can punch it in the end zone if he's down there close. And you mentioned the experience on that side of the ball, on the defensive side of the ball, that linebacking core is basically coming back intact, and that's something that they're going to really look to press that advantage coming into today's ball game, because they're going up against a young Rams offensive line. So perhaps those linebackers having that experience can kind of mix up some looks and try to confuse that young front for the Shepherd Rams.
And we mentioned Shepherd being a young team. Where they do return a lot of talent is in the offensive skill positions. Obviously the number 1 player, or the best player in the nation, and Tyson Bagent returns the Harlan Hill Trophy winner, along with some of his weapons, like Ryan Beach, who will play today. I want to correct that from the sports mix. He was not listed on the Shepherd 2 deep, but he is active for today. That was a misprint. So Beach will be out there. And the big 3 there, Beach, Bagent, and Ronnie Brown. He's back at running back. Had an excellent season last year, and now he's the number 1 guy in that backfield, Travis.
And he's the elder statesman. Out of the 10 running backs that they have on the roster, he's the only junior. 8 of them are freshmen, and then you have Holly as the sophomore. So he went from being the young upstart in that group. Now he's the elder statesman and leading it. And I guarantee you, you're not going to find a better guy to lead that running back group. Last year, averaged 9 yards a carry, had 956 yards on the season, 8 touchdowns, and able to rip off a long 63-yard run last year. So he's a guy that can take it to the house anywhere on the field. We mentioned Ryan Beach. He started out like gangbusters last year, just thinking that season opener versus Ohio Dominican, had 11 receptions, 129 yards, and last year had 4 games where he went over 100 yards. So that's a huge weapon for Tyson Bagent to have, where he can really take the top off the defense and really change some of the things that they can do on the defensive side of the ball, because they have to account for his athleticism.
All right, we'll take our first 2-minute break here on the W. Harley Miller Systems pregame show. W. Harley Miller Systems providing custom integration services like home and office automation, home theater networking, audio video distribution, and more. Call 304-350-1931 or visit whmsystems.com. When we return, we will have our player interviews. This is Shepherd University Rams football on TV 10.
When will I be able to retire? How do I make the most of the money I have? How do I leave a lasting legacy to my loved ones? I'm Philip McCoy, financial advisor with the Mirius Group, a private wealth advisory practice of Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated. Call us today at 304-263-4343 to help you make the most of your financial future. Our office is located at 1270 Winchester Avenue, Martinsburg, West Virginia.
Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated, member FINRA and SIPC. You've put up with your water long enough. It's time for Sunset Water Services, your local water solution since 1989, to fix your water problems. Get better tasting, better smelling, and better looking water today. Say hello to drinking your own delicious water for pennies per gallon. Say yes to healthier skin and hair and to softer and brighter clothes. Sunset Water Services delivers your bags of salt to you, so they'll save your back too. And our products come with a 1-year satisfaction guarantee. Call 304-754-9031 for a free water quality test today. SunsetWater.com.
Heffley Motor Company, just off I-81 at 993 Hedgesville Road, is a family-owned and operated business providing the Eastern Panhandle with the highest quality pre-owned vehicles and customer service since 1997. Heffley is a pre-owned Carfax Advantage dealer. We're proud to be your partner, serving the community. You're local, we're local, so why not buy local? Call us at 304-267-7172 or see us at 993 Hedgesville Road. And if you want to sell your car, we buy cars too. Check us out at Heffley.com. Heffley Motor Company, a nice place to do business.
If you're in an accident, the first thing that you have to do is call 911. You have to get medical care immediately.
The next thing you need to do is call us. When you hire us at the Skinner Law Firm, what we do is we are going to investigate your case and we're going to lay out the options that you have, all at no cost to you.
We will use all of our resources and all of our experience to get you what you deserve. That's what we mean by treating you like family.
We now go in the huddle, brought to you by the Mirius Group and Ameriprise Financial Advisors, John Everson and Phil McCoy. Stop by 1270 Winchester Avenue in Martinsburg or call 304-263-4343. We're here with Rams defensive end Kyle Smith. Kyle, week one of the season's finally here. How's it feel?
It's a little exciting. We got a lot of new guys that I'm excited to play with, so it's going to be a fun time.
And defensively, what will be some things that you'll have to do to get this win against Southern Connecticut State?
It's really just play as a team and know our alignment and our assignment. Like I just said, we got some young guys, so key to the game is really just going to be knowing our stuff and executing well.
Having those young guys on the team, you're one of the veterans on the defense. What have been some things that you tried to bring to them, especially for a lot of these guys, getting their first real start and first real action this week?
I just try to bring a little bit of a cool head to the game. Whenever the young guys are in, they may look to me from time to time to tell them what to do. So I'm just there to, be a calming force, I guess you could say, and just, help the guys out as much as I can and, anchor that defense as best I can.
With it being a new season and a team in Southern Connecticut State that didn't have the best record last year, what are some things, I guess, that you want to make sure that you do to not overlook them?
Is just to be humble, really, because they're the hardest team that we're going to play right now. It's week one. We don't look ahead. We look at the team we're facing right on, and we're going to play them as hard as we can. We're going to give them our all.
What stands out to you about their offense?
They got some good offensive linemen. They're just returning their quarterback from last year, I believe, that beat an FCS team. So we're going to look to keep him boxed in, and make sure that he doesn't, take over the game, keep him unbalanced. Number 3 on their team is their playmaker ability guy, and we're looking to shut him down as well. But as far as the box is concerned, we're worried about stopping the run, and then we'll play pass second.
All right, Kyle, thank you, and good luck this week.
Thank you very much.
We're out here with Rams running back Ronnie Brown. Heading into the first week of the season, how exciting is it to get ready for this first game?
Very exciting. We've been working. We've been training all fall as soon as school started, during camp. We've been pushing it, We're ready to get back out there and play as a team.
When talking to your teammates like Tyson and Coach McCook, they've all said that you've had a great offseason. What were some things you wanted to work on during the offseason?
Just being more explosive and knowing where I'm supposed to be at and knowing what I'm supposed to be doing. Obviously, when the ball touches my hands, I'm going to make plays happen, but it's when I don't have the ball, it's when I got to make plays happen.
Last year, you were part of kind of a three-headed running back room. This year, you're the one returning guy, but still expected, Avon Holly to get some carries, I'm sure, and Hartman as well. But what's it like kind of being the leader now of the running back room with Hebron gone and Chance Schwartz gone as well?
A lot of weight on my shoulders that I got to carry on, and definitely lead by example and do what I'm supposed to be doing. But Avon Holly and Blake Hartman are definitely going to be good players for me whenever I go down or if I need the job done.
And then the Southern Connecticut State team, they didn't have the best record a year ago, but still a team that you guys obviously can't overlook. So what are some things that kind of stand out to you about their defense?
They get off blocks very well. They shed blocks very well and get to where they need to go, too. If they see a lineman pulling, their linebackers are filling and overflowing quick and fast.
And up front for you this year, kind of a younger offensive line as well. What have those guys really shown to you so far?
A lot of grit and determination, man. They're working well together, working as a family. They've been working hard all camp to get what they need to do and do what they're supposed to be doing. But I have a lot of faith in them. They're my boys,
What will be some keys for you guys to get this win?
Just play as we know how to play. Just pick them apart. If they want to come to the run, Tyson Page is going to pass it and destroy them with the pass game. And then when they drop 8, we're going to run it. We're going to gash them.
All right, Ronnie, thank you and good luck. That concludes our player interviews portion of the W. Harley Miller Systems pregame show. When we return, we will have more. This is Shepherd University Rams football on TV 10.
I pre-planned my funeral to make it easier on my family. They were relieved to know I'll get just what I want.
My family actually thanked me for taking matters into my own hands. Turns out having this awkward conversation wasn't awkward at all.
Pre-planning is my choice. There are certain things about me my family may not know. Now they won't need to guess.
The choices are yours. The peace of mind is theirs. Pre-plan your funeral with Brown Funeral Homes and everything will be taken care of. Find out more online at brownfuneralhomeswv.com. Brown Funeral Homes, here for you.
Jambo Construction and Fencing Company, LLC is a veteran-owned and operated company right here in the Eastern Panhandle, West Virginia that specializes in decks, fencing, and hardscaping. Find us on Facebook at Jambo Construction and Fencing to see more of the projects we've completed. For a free estimate, you can call Bo Bartley at 304-268-5452 or Jamie Gall at 304-279-5053. We are licensed and insured in the state of West Virginia, and as Martinsburg alums, we say, go Bulldogs.
Hagerstown Ford continues to be your leader in car sales up and down the I-81 corridor. We will beat any and all competitors' prices, and we've made buying a new car easier than ever with one-day delivery better than Amazon and a return policy better than Walmart. Your satisfaction is our guarantee. If you don't like it, simply return it and we'll come pick it up. No questions asked. Why would you shop anywhere else? At Hagerstown Ford, we take great pride in our community and supporting our local student athletes. That's why Hagerstown Ford is the official car dealership of Shepherd Rams quarterback Tyson Bagent. Our remote buying process has made new car shopping so easy, you'll never even set foot in a dealership. Simply go to HagerstownFord.com and click on the car you want to buy it, or use the Axle Auto app. It's that easy. You can order your new car on any device. Go to HagerstownFord.com and get your new car signed, sealed, and delivered from Hagerstown Ford.
Welcome you back to Jetsdown Field on the campus of Southern Connecticut State University. Nick Verzolini alongside me is Travis Smith here on the W. Harley Miller Systems pregame show. Our crew this evening, Donald Kinney on camera, Spencer Dupuis, our on-site producer, Dylan Bishop on the sidelines and running a camera for us down there as well, and Colin McLaughlin back in the studio keeping us on the air. Travis, we talked a lot about Shepherd, just a little bit about Southern Connecticut State there in that first segment here of the pregame show, and this is a team that, like we said, 4-6 a year ago, but that record may be a little bit deceiving. Jackson Ostrowski returns at quarterback for them from his injury, along with some other key contributors from last season. Deontay Wilson, who as a true freshman had over 500 yards rushing in the backfield. Ryan Souls and Tylen Popolo, yes. Popolo also returning there at wide receiver. So they have some experience for the weapons. Offensive line, kind of similar to Shepherd, a mixture of young and experienced players. But what do you think kind of stands out about this Southern Connecticut State offense?
Well, we've already talked about Jackson Ostrowski at the quarterback position, but let's talk a little bit more about Popolo, the 5'10", 190-pound senior. He's a transfer over from Lackawanna back in 2019. He played 10 games for that squad, had 25 receptions, 329 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Last year, he played 9 games here for the Owls, had 28 receptions, 561 yards, and 5 touchdowns, and a long of 67 yards. So that's something. You have a young, talented quarterback, and he's surrounded by experience on the edge. And like you mentioned, he's not going to have to do it all on his own. He can hand the ball off to Wilson, who had in 8 games, 500 yards. He averaged, most importantly, 5.2 yards per carry. He also had a touchdown. So that's something where they have the pieces. Now they just need to go out there, get a spark, and get some confidence going in this young, talented group.
And then you look at the defense for Southern Connecticut State, and the thing that stands out to me, for the most part, seniors across that defense, and then where they are young, they're experienced. And the linebacker core, that's where their juniors and sophomores are, and 3 out of their 4 linebackers were starters last year, and some of the top tacklers on the team. So, the defense has experience, and that can make a big impact, especially when you're going up against the Shepherd offense that was number 1 in the country last year and has the best player in the country in Tyson Bagent returning. So defensively, they definitely have some key guys coming back, whether it be Hassan Dominic, Robert Nunez at the linebacker position, or even in the secondary, Elijah Alexander returns there at corner. So they have a lot in that secondary as well. And overall, that defense, has that experience to potentially slow down the Rams today.
You have to feel good about your defensive unit, especially when you have your two inside linebackers returning, Dominic, Nunez, both of them 5'11", 220 pounds. And they're looking for a very specific body type when they're going out to recruit those guys. But both players played all 10 games last year. They're number 1 and number 2 in total tackles on the squad last year. And not only that, they can get in the backfield. There's 5 combined sacks and also interception between Dominic and Nunez. So there are players that can do it in all facets of the game. They're tough against the run. They can get after the quarterback in the passing game, and they can also drop back in space and pick a ball off if you're not paying attention to them in their drops. So it's an experienced defense, and I think that's something that they're really going to have to rely on today. Maybe mix up some looks, move some people around, and not give any clean reads to that Shepherd Rams offense.
And you mentioned that Shepherd offense, and we talked about kind of the big three offensively in terms of the skill guys in Bajent, Brown, and Beach. But there are some young guys that we don't know too much about in terms of how they're going to play when the lights turn on. And some of those guys that return, and a guy that Coach McCook is really excited about is Marlon Cook, the junior wide receiver. Rodney Dorsey also comes back. He broke his foot last year, was not able to play. And there's some exciting just completely new guys to the program, and junior Alfonso Foray and the freshman Kenny Edlin, who we could also see along with NC State transfer Max Fisher. So that wide receiver core where you have to replace the likes of Gonteric and Greg Leonard, it looks like they've done that in terms of some talent, just haven't really seen those guys to know exactly how they'll perform. But that was the question mark heading into last season.
You beat me to my punch yet again. That was something that the Rams have just been able to reload a wide receiver, and one thing that's very enticing to any type of wide receiver that's looking to go to another location, when you got a quarterback like Tyson Bajent back there that can sling the football. He threw for 5,000 yards last year. Those wide receivers, they want a little bit of that action, so they're going to come from all over to get into an offense where they know if they run their routes properly, the quarterback is going to get them the ball. We mentioned Rodney Dorsey. Here's a player that in 2019 appeared in 12 games, had 52 catches for 475 yards and 3 touchdowns. So he's a player that, has been in the system, familiar, can help out some of those new or younger wide receivers that are coming in and just balance it out where defenses really can't key on Beach as the only threat in that wide receiving core.
All right, we will take another 2-minute break. On the other side of that break, we'll hear from the coach of the Shepherd University Rams, Ernie McCook. This is Shepherd University football on TV 10.
I'm Jason Barrett. I'm running for state senate because I believe it's time to build an even better West Virginia. That starts with a less burdensome tax policy, reliable internet service, a strong education system, and a robust tourism industry. I believe this building starts right here in Jefferson and Berkeley counties.
I ask for your support and your vote on November 8th.
Paid for by friends of Jason Barrett.
Happiness grows here. Orr's Farm Market.
Visit us at Orr's Farm Market, just 5 miles west of Martinsburg, to pick up all your local fresh fruits and vegetables. With our in-house bakery, fresh fruit slushies, and apple cider donuts, you can't go wrong. Live bluegrass every Saturday from 12 to 5 p.m. And check out all that's local and delicious at Orr's by going to orrsfarmmarket.com or visit our Facebook page.
Happiness grows here. Orr's Farm Market.
If you're in an accident, the first thing that you have to do is call 911. You have to get medical care immediately.
The next thing you need to do is call us. When you hire us at the Skinner Law Firm, what we do is we are going to investigate your case, and we're going to lay out the options that you have, all at no cost to you.
We will use all of our resources and all of our experience to get you what you deserve. That's what we mean by treating you like family.
Erie Insurance says here's to the grown-ups who move, mortgage, mow, and still bust a move. But does your home insurance still fit? Erie helps you protect the home you've grown into, all at fair prices that are often less than the other guys. So how do you find the right coverage? Magic. Nope. Local independent agents who get to know you like this.
Your local Erie agent in Martinsburg is Smallwood & Small Insurance. Get a quote at smallwoodandsmall.com.
Erie Insurance.
We welcome you back on the W. Harley Miller Systems pregame show. I'm Nick Verzolini. Here's Colin McLaughlin and Spencer Dupuis with Coach McCook.
Guys kick off this Thursday night against Southern Connecticut State. So I want to talk about first just how you guys got that team on the schedule.
I'll tell you what, we spent a lot of time contacting a lot of schools that had the same open date. And their coach, Tom Godick, he said if we can work it out with his administration, we're up for it. He's been super to work with, very accommodating from the film exchange to who plays the first home game, having a home-and-home series. You can just tell he runs a first-class program, and I know they're going to be ready to play. It's going to be a challenging opener for us, but it took a lot of work to find a team within region. It'll be to our advantage to play within region as well.
And obviously, you get that Thursday night, Thursday evening kind of feel to know that your team's going to be one of the first teams playing in Division II college football. Do you think that's an advantage to you guys, that you get to kind of go play Thursday night and then get the weekend off and then kind of get back at it?
Camp is always a grind, and it's nice to be able to have a game on Thursday night and then give our kids Friday and Saturday off. Get a chance. We have guys that have been on campus for the first time. They'll have a chance to go home, see their families, just be home, get a home-cooked meal at the beginning of the Labor Day weekend. But we'll be back at work on Sunday. But it's pretty exciting. It's good for our kids, and the fact that we're playing a 5:30 kickoff. Southern Connecticut sold me on it by saying we'd be the first Division II football game of the 2022 season.
Alrighty, let's talk about how the offseason has gone for the team. What do they look like? What have you guys been working on for Team 93 this year, correct?
Yeah, it's Team 93. We graduated a lot of really good football players, the guys that have a lot of productive snaps for us. But the fact that we've worked our butts off to bring this team together and gel as a football team. And I think we're seeing it come together here as we finish up camp and we're in our game week preparation for Southern Connecticut. I'm really proud of the leadership that we do have, and the young guys and the new guys we have in the program have done a tremendous job of buying into the Shepherd way.
And you talk about the new guys and the young guys, specifically some young guys I know that I saw on your social media that you guys were getting a lot of good work in this summer for a lot of players that were able to get here this summer and be close to campus and able to do some workouts. How big is that to your advantage that you guys have a lot of kids, a lot of student athletes in proximity that live around here?
The fact that they're here working together, building the camaraderie and getting to know one another was tremendous. And that was spearheaded by Tyson Bajan. Tyson did a tremendous job of organizing the skill guys to throw and catch. And, I tell the NFL scouts when they come in, I say the guy organizes it with his teammates. It's very structured. It has a purpose. And I got it. Hats off to Tyson, and I appreciate his leadership there. The guys that have done a great job in the weight room and the all-season running and coming together and the energy they bring was really, it was exciting for me as the coach and the coaches that were around it. We had a chance to throw some burgers and dogs on the grill after every workout. And I think the kids appreciated that, and it was all about building the team camaraderie.
And, we talked with Tyson at the scrimmage day, and, he talked about everything that's kind of this last year's been, from last year to winning the Harlan Hill to going into the transfer portal, learning about himself, what Division I schools think about him, because he did get passed over when he was being recruited into college, and he said this upcoming season it's not as much – like he said, basically all the personal accolades, I've done what I can do. Now it's time to focus on not throwing as many interceptions and bonding with my team, and then as a team for us to win the conference and basically win a national championship.
Well, we set those goals every year. Let's win the opener, win the PSAC East, win the conference, get a bid to the playoffs, and win the last game we play. And it starts with this Thursday with Southern Connecticut. I love it when we talk about winning a national championship and stuff like that, but we've got some things we have to do first. But Tyson is the guy that we're hooking onto, and he leads our football team. The guy has got unbelievable presence. He's awesome, and the things he said to you doesn't surprise me. That he's a very focused young man. And, I tell the NFL scouts when they come in, he may not make your team, but you're going to be proud that you brought him into your club. And I'm really looking forward to this football season with Tyson and watching this team grow. We have a lot of tremendous young men in our program, and I'm really excited about these guys we have. And we've got our challenges as a program. We graduated a lot of really good football players, and if we're going to have success, I said it at Media Day, we're going to talk about guys we don't know about right now, guys that are going to make plays and do some great things, and and Tyson's going to help them do that.
What is the goals and expectations for this team this season that you've set for them? Some challenges.
Well, the challenge is going to be how fast can we come together as a team. We're all, it's going to take everybody pulling in the same direction and working together. We win together. And I think the goals, are from what I stated earlier. We want to win the opener, win the East, win the conference, and get a bid to the national playoffs and see where we end up from there.
Our coaches' interviews are brought to you by Parsons Ford. They're located at 1400 Shepherdstown Road and online at parsonsford.com. They became number one by making you number one first. Parsons.
WVU Heart and Vascular Institute offers world-class heart care close to home. Our board-certified physicians are performing groundbreaking procedures using cutting-edge techniques, and that's why we're expanding our services to every corner of our region, so you don't have to travel far to receive the great specialty care you deserve close to home. Now accepting new patients at all locations in Martinsburg, Hagerstown, Shepherdstown, Winchester, and at our newest office in Ranson. WVU Heart and Vascular Institute, world-class heart care close to home.
You've been in an accident. Why won't the insurance company pay? Because they're trying to save money at your expense. Call Mansion Ferretti for your free consultation. We have the experience to deal with the insurance company and get you the compensation you deserve. Mansion Ferretti, when you need justice.
CMA Honda of Winchester understands supply chain issues in the automotive industry that has significantly reduced dealer inventories of new cars. That's why we have launched Drive More Days now through September 5th. CMA is already committed to never charging over a sticker for our new vehicles, but now, during this special Drive More Days event, customers will also receive a $500 gas card with purchase of a used vehicle. Go buy your used vehicles now at CMA Honda of Winchester, 3985 Valley Pike. CMA, moving lives forward.
We welcome you back to Southern Connecticut State University. That is a mouthful, but we are back here on TV 10. Nick Verzolini alongside me is Travis Smith. The Owls will receive the opening kickoff, and the 2022 season is underway as it's fielded about the 7-yard line for Southern Connecticut State. Have some blocking here in the near side. Get a big block down the sideline and knocked out of bounds. Southern Connecticut State's Sean Martin taking that one out across the 40-yard line. Good job for Southern Connecticut State to have the really solid kickoff return, and really not the way Travis Shepard wanted things to go, as it will be 1st and 10 from the 45 for the Owls.
A great return that time by the Owls. Had a lot of blockers out in front of it. If it wasn't for Keyshawn Haley, probably would have started this season off with a kickoff return for a touchdown.
Ostrowski in the offense comes to the line of scrimmage. Sending a man in motion, and Popolo. Snap, handoff to the back. Wilson, he fights forward for a few before being tripped up.
Looks like
and a player down here.
Smith was in on that tackle, able to trip up Wilson in the backfield. And right now we have an Owl down on the field. Looks like that's number 51, Carew Gomez. The 6'4", 265-pound left tackle out of East Providence, Rhode Island.
And Gomes is appearing to be in a lot of pain there. As our opening kickoff was brought to you by Orr's Farm Market, family-owned, family-grown. Happiness grows here at Orr's Farm Market, located at 682 Orr Drive in Martinsburg. Travis, since we have a little time and we want to get these sponsor reads in as well, what are some of your keys to the game for this game?
What we talked about some for Southern Connecticut, they got to use that experience on the defensive side of the ball, try to mix up some looks, try not to give the offense any clean reads. They also want to try to stifle that Rams running game. You want to make them one-dimensional, and that just makes it a lot easier to play defense against that potent Rams offense. Also, you want to get physical with those Rams wide receivers. Like we mentioned, they have youth at that position. Ryan Beach is an undersized wide receiver, so if you can knock them off their route and slow them down a little bit, it's going to be to your advantage. On offense, they just got to eat clock and leave no points on the field because you know you're going to have to score points, and lots of them, if you want to beat the Shepherd Rams.
Shepherd shows blitz. Ostrowski takes the snap, throws quickly, and no one home. Looks like a miscommunication there as Pena was in coverage. I believe that was O'Shea, the intended receiver, the tight end. And once again, our keys to the game are brought to you by the Effley Motor Company, located at 993 Hedgesville Road in Martinsburg. You're local, we're local, so why not buy local? Spencer rides with them, so you should too. As Ostrowski and Southern Connecticut State have a 3rd down and 7 here from the 48-yard line. Shepherd again showing blitz. Ostrowski adjusts at the line of scrimmage in a 4 wide receiver set. Has some time stepping over the pocket, but that time is quickly coming to a stop there as Nathan Muley, the Jefferson product, coming up with the tackle after a gain of about 2 to midfield. It will be 4th down and 6, and Southern Connecticut State is forced to punt.
And those are situations that they want to avoid, being forced in a 3rd and long. We mentioned Shepherd has a young defense, but is it a defense that is built to get after the quarterback? They're built to protect leads, so that means teams are going to have to pass. So they have an excellent pass rush, and that time they were able to collapse the pocket, and the young defensive lineman was able to come away with the tackle.
Piccarelli will punt, and it is fielded here on the near side, and heading out of bounds is Rodney Dorsey, and Shepherd will take over from their own 15-yard line, and we get to see the number 1 offense in the country from a year ago. Shepherd back on the field, led by the Harlan Hill Trophy winner, Tyson Bagent. Travis. Quite an exciting offense.
Yes. I mean, if you wanted to pay the admission, this is why you come to see a quarterback of his caliber coming here to play in a game like today. And he's going to be relied on even more so this year, so it's going to be a kind of a victory lap for him in his senior year, and he wants to go out with a bang.
Bagent takes the snap, throws quickly, screen pass to Ryan Beach, who is tackled behind the line of scrimmage. Making the play there was Hassan Dominic, the outside linebacker. So it'll be 2nd down and long for the Rams, 2nd down and about 12.
Loss of 2.
And the Rams offense, they like to use that RPO action, getting the ball quickly out of the quarterback's hands and just trying to get the ball to Beach in space. But that time, the Owls defense up to the challenge.
2nd and 12 from the 13, this time complete to Beach. Again, he's tackled almost immediately. Dominic flying over there to clean it up. As it looked like Ansell was the first man there on the outside. Or excuse me, that was Alexander, the corner. One of the leading talent, Alexandre.
There you go. Elijah Alexandre, the 5'10", 170-pound sophomore. Last year he had 38 tackles, 26 of them solo. Also had 8 pass breakups.
3rd and 8, Bagent throws near side, complete to Marlon Cook. Cook spins off one tackler. He's across midfield. He needs one block from Beach. He avoids the tackler, and he's inside the 20-yard line before being knocked out of bounds.
Matt Ansell in. That was almost intercepted, that play. And again, you cannot miss out on opportunities like that to get that Shepherd Rams offense off the field. And they were able to make you pay and pick up a big chunk on the play. Now that Rams offense setting up shop on the 17.
There's been a lot of hype about Marlon Cook, and he makes that play there, his first catch of the season. Takes Shepherd all the way down the 17-yard line. 1st and 10. Bagent goes quickly on the ball, throws another screen. It's off the hands and incomplete of his intended receiver. I believe that's Dorsey out there. Excuse me, that's Evelyn. Kenny Evelyn, the freshman wide receiver.
Right now, this Rams offense not looking to attack down the field so much. They're trying to attack the perimeter, get the ball out of the quarterback's hands quickly, and they have yet to let Ronnie Brown run the ball.
Bagent takes the snap, hands off Ronnie Brown. Big hole for him as the scoots to the outside, gets inside the 10, and will take it into the end zone.
Get that man the ball. Get him the ball.
Well, we talked about the elite offseason that Ronnie Brown had, and he made several Owls dive and miss on that touchdown run. Give Shepherd the early 6-0 lead with 11:53 to go in this first quarter, and we'll see Jacob Haney on for the point after.
Ronnie Brown, coming off of an excellent 2021 campaign, was named All-PSAC East first team, and it was well-deserved, averaging 9 yards a carry.
So Haney will run on for the PAT. New long snappers first snap, and a kick from Haney, the new kicker, and the extra point is good. So Shepherd extends its lead now in the first quarter, taking the lead 7-0 with 11:53 to go. We will take a minute break. On the other side of that break, we'll return with more Shepherd football on TV 10.
Erie Insurance says here's to the grown-ups who move, mortgage, mow, and still bust a move. But does your home insurance still fit? Erie helps you protect the home you've grown into, all at fair prices that are often less than the other guys. So how do you find the right coverage? Magic. Nope. Local independent agents who get to know you like this.
Your local Erie agent in Martinsburg is Smallwood & Small Insurance. Get a quote at smallwoodandSmall.com.
Erie Insurance.
WVU Medicine is excited for the return of the Bob Bariner 5K Apple Trample this year at the Mountain State Apple Harvest Festival. This is a great event for runners, walkers, and families to enjoy. To register for this annual event, please go online to the festival website at msahf.com for the link to the Apple Trample and sign up today. Registration is $35 now through October 1st. Be a part of this community tradition. Sign up today for the 5K Apple Trample at msahf.com.
We welcome you back here to Southern Connecticut State as the Owls get another good kickoff return after the Rams take the lead on the touchdown. And with 11:44 to go in this first quarter, we got a little bit of chippiness after the play between Shepherd and Southern Connecticut State, but the Owls take the field. Now, after that first drive that they had the good field position earlier, Travis, and then things kind of stalled out for them.
And 2 excellent returns to set them up with great field position. Both times, Keyshawn Haley, the saving tackle. Right now, the Owls, that return, they're returning it to their sideline, and they're doing a good job. So they've noticed something in film, a tendency, and they've been able to take advantage of it so far. Let's see if the offense can use this excellent field position. O'Shea in motion.
Strowski takes the snap, he'll hand off. That is the running back, Wilson, moving forward. Rams Malik Holloway in on that tackle.
Number 28, Deontay Wilson on the carry.
We have another Owls player down.
It looks like another offensive lineman, as earlier it was their left tackle, Gomes, going down with an injury. This looks like it's the center, Rich Christie. So not a good start for Southern Connecticut State when it comes to potential injuries. Now, this could potentially also just be a cramp early in the ball game, as it is very early September football, Travis, and as we know, guys tend to cramp up early in the season. And it does look like that may be the case, as quickly to his feet is Christie.
And at some point, the guys are in shape. They're just out of camp, but there's a difference between being in shape and being in football shape. And sometimes when you get out there, it's just difficult, especially down in the trenches. Offensive linemen get rolled up on. So even if you have those knee braces on, which most colleges is pretty much part of the mandatory equipment nowadays, you get rolled up on. It's going to hurt, and you're going to have to come out and try to get things taken care of. But a couple of big hits on the offensive line for Southern Connecticut so far.
2nd down and 8 from the 39-yard line. Strowski takes the snap. Kyle Smith is in there, and Kyle Smith is there with the sack. He led the Rams in sacks a year ago. His goal is to get double digits this season, and he's off to a good start. Travis, if we remember the opener against Ohio Dominican last year, Kyle Smith had 3 sacks in that ballgame.
10 sacks on the season, had 18.5 tackles for a loss. He's an undersized defensive end by most standards, but I tell you what, he plays much larger than his size. 6'3", 210-pound grad student is on the D2 Elite 100 watch list. And that time, the left tackle should have been looking out for him because he was able to get in the backfield and take Ostrowski down, setting up a 3rd and long for Southern Connecticut State.
So a timeout for Shepherd. We will take a 30-second break. When we return, we'll have more Shepherd Rams football action on TV 10.
Erie Insurance says here's to the grown-ups who move, mortgage, mow, and still bust a move. But does your home insurance still fit? Erie helps you protect the home you've grown into, all at fair prices that are often less than the other guys. So how do you find the right coverage? Magic. Nope. Local independent agents who get to know you like this.
Your local Erie agent in Martinsburg is Smallwood & Small Insurance. Get a quote at smallwoodandsmall.com.
Erie Insurance.
We welcome you back to Southern Connecticut State University. While we have a little bit of time, we want to give a shout out to Ken Boone of Shepherd football. We know he's watching, and we want to give Ken a shout out because, well, he's just been such a huge part of Shepherd football and their success. So shout out to Ken, and we're happy that you're tuning in. Big hit there as on 3rd and long they run the football with Wilson, and Wilson doesn't find much room. So again, Southern Connecticut State will be forced to punt.
And that fierce pass rush by that Rams defensive front makes you play a conservative on 3rd and long on that offensive side of the ball because you know those defensive linemen have their ears pinned back and they're trying to get upfield, get into the backfield and disrupt that passing game. So one of the things you try to do to counter that, spread them out, try to run a draw inside. Maybe you catch something, but at least you're not faced with a predictable down-and-distance situation. But now you have to punt, but you don't want to avoid those sacks at all costs because they can quickly turn into turnovers.
Punt is almost blocked. It's shanked nonetheless. It'll be a short punt, bounce around the 37-yard line, and now downed. Another correction I believe we're going to make here, Travis. I think Ostrowski is actually out. It looks like Mark Reale is going to be their quarterback, or really. Even though Ostrowski was listed as the starter, it appears he's not out there today. So change in the QB room for Southern Connecticut State, and that obviously puts them back a little bit because there was a lot of hype around Ostrowski coming back.
Reale, the 6'2", 195-pound sophomore from Biddeford, Maine. But now you see why they maybe they went a little conservative on that 3rd and long situation, not wanting to put their young quarterback in a difficult situation against a speedy defense.
That is really what Shepherd's defense prides themselves on, is their speed. Not so much size and strength, but the Rams typically have a lot of speed. As Bajent,
and it's a defense built to protect leads. It's not so much it's built to be stingy. It's built to protect leads.
Ronnie Brown gets the carry. Brown bounces to the outside. He's cross midfield inside the 40, still on his feet. Ronnie Brown in a foot race and now finally knocked out of bounds. And how about these first 2 touches of the season for Ronnie Brown? His first run, a touchdown run where he evaded probably 2 or 3 tackles. There he does something similar and gets the Rams set up in the red zone already.
And equally impressive, Cameron Kelly, the defensive end, is the player that's able to run him down and tackle him on the sidelines. Kelly, the 6'1", 255-pound senior, had 21 tackles last year, 15 of those solo, 6 tackles for loss, including 2 for sacks.
Bajent and the Rams back to the 17-yard line now in Southern Connecticut State territory once again. 7-0 lead for Shepherd, first quarter, 9:17 to go. 3 receivers lined up to the left. Bajent looking left, now back to the right for Brian Walker, the tight end, who secures the catch. Down inside to the 5-yard line goes Walker. And it's a 1st and goal for Shepherd.
And that was just the matchup that Shepherd offense was trying to get. You have your big tight end. You got Walker coming in, 6'5", 240 pounds, and he's matched up one-on-one with Elijah Alexandri, only 5'10", 170 pounds. So if you just get an accurate ball, that's going to be very difficult for him to try to defend, and the Rams just able to take advantage of that mismatch. And like you mentioned earlier in the pregame, this is a chance for Brian Walker to have a big year this year. Usually he was always stuck behind Alex Wetzel, but now he's having his chance to shine.
Bajent in the pistol formation, Brown behind him. They'll fake it.
Bajent throws back to the middle, caught, touchdown Shepherd. It's Marlon Cook with the touchdown reception, and the Rams extend their lead to 13-0 here at Chestow Field.
And that's the only good things happen when you're able to establish the run. The defense has to honor those run fakes. And when they do, it's just that little bit of hesitation that's going to open up those windows for Tyson Bajent to squeeze that ball through. And that time, Marlon Cook doing a good job working that back line. He was the second read on that play. And you know you have a quarterback that has the mobility like Tyson Bajent. He's going to be able to extend plays and find those second and third options.
That is touchdown pass number 120 of Tyson Bajent's career as the extra point is up, and it is good. Shepherd 14, Southern Connecticut State nothing with 8:28 to go in this first quarter. We're back at 60.
Hi, I'm Annette McDonald, and I am the designer at Orsini's in Martinsburg, West Virginia. We welcome you into our store to show you a complete line of what we do here. We design your cabinetry, quartz countertops, granite countertops, hardware, anything for the full remodel of your kitchen and your home needs. We also do bathrooms, and we have flooring available too. We make sure that your project with Orsini's is the best in the market. Welcome to Orsini's.
Orsini's.com.
The Palace Lounge in Martinsburg is the place to be this football season. Join us Fridays for Martinsburg Bulldog games, Saturdays for Shepherd Rams and WVU games, and every Monday, Thursday, and Sunday nights for the NFL primetime games. We still have steak night every Wednesday, shrimp nights every Thursday, and now taco and margarita nights every Tuesday. So come on in and enjoy the Palace Lounge. We're located at 1350 Edwin Miller Boulevard in Martinsburg.
Kickoff fielded around the 11-yard line, and this time Shepherd slows them down on the kickoff as it will only get out to around the 20-yard line. Nick Verzolini alongside me is Travis Smith. 14-0 Travis here, Shepherd on top. And again, Reale and the Southern Connecticut State offense trying to get them back onto the field. As what's interesting is here, not only is Ostrowski out, it appears, but Joe Bernard, the backup, who's a senior, is also not in the lineup, and they've gone to Reale, the sophomore, for today's ball game. So either people are just telling us the wrong starters, or I don't know.
Perhaps a little
this ball's hit to the line and intercepted. I believe that was Dwayne Grantham who tipped it and came up with the interception. It is Grantham. So the Martinsburg native gets a big play on the third defensive series of the season, and Shepherd is right in scoring position.
That's one of the things that this defense has done for years is they're able to take advantage of an offense when they're forced to try to accelerate their schedule trying to score points. That Shepherd offense, you know they're going to score points. You're going to have to score points to keep up with them. And like we mentioned, that defense is built with speed and athleticism. A lot of those guys are just comfortable playing in space. And that time, Grantham able to get his hands up, bat that ball up in the air, and bring it down himself. He's the Lackawanna transfer. He's a junior, 6'1", 205-pound Will linebacker. Last year racked up 41 tackles, 32 of those solo, 5.5 tackles for loss.
Bajent play action, goes underneath, complete to Ronnie Brown. Brown sheds off another tackler, picks up about 6 on the play to the 20-yard line.
And Ronnie Brown has put on some beef in the offseason. They have him listed in the roster as 6 foot, 190 pounds. So that offseason program certainly paying dividends. You know that young man's putting in the work in the weight room. He wants to become a even bigger part of this offense. And
literally.
Yes.
Second down and 5 for Shepherd from the 19-yard line. Approaching 7.5 minutes to play here in this first quarter. They'll hand it to Brown, and this time he is swallowed up in the backfield. Coming through and making the play was Mitch McDonough. Excuse me, that was Barbosa Torres coming through that time for Southern Connecticut State. Now back it up to a 3rd down and 9 for the Rams.
You want to talk about a size mismatch. Ronnie Brown, 6 foot, 190 pounds, versus Barbosa Torres, 6 foot, 315 pounds. That's a battle he probably doesn't want to have too often.
That is, I mean, his backup, Quinn Perry, standing at 6'2", 355.
That's a lot of beef.
So a big defensive line for Southern Connecticut State. 3rd down and 9 for Bajan in the Rams offense. Bajan with time steps up, dumps it off to Brown, but it's through his hands and incomplete. And Shepherd now has a decision. Do they want to bring on their young kicker and Jacob Haney to attempt what would be about a 40-yard field goal? Or do you go ahead and go for this here on 4th and 9? I think with a 14-0 lead, the defense has played well. Why not go for it?
You got a Harlan Hill winner under center. You got an all-PSAC East first-teamer at running back. Why not take your chances? Because if you line up for a field goal, that'll be about 46, 47. That's tough for a brand-new kicker to go out there and do it. So why not press your advantage, go for the jugular, and go ahead and try to take their spirit early on here in the game.
Well, looks like Shepherd's going to talk it over and take a timeout. We'll take a 30-second break. When we return, we'll have more Shepherd Rams football action on TV 10.
Hagerstown Ford continues to be your leader in car sales up and down the I-81 corridor. We will beat any and all competitors' prices, and we've made buying a new car easier than ever with one-day delivery better than Amazon and a return policy better than Walmart. Your satisfaction is our guarantee. If you don't like it, simply return it and we'll come pick it up. No questions asked. Why would you shop anywhere else? At Hagerstown Ford, we take great pride in our community and supporting our local student athletes. That's why Hagerstown Ford is the official car dealership of Shepherd Rams quarterback Tyson Bagent. Our remote buying process has made new car shopping so easy, you'll never even set foot in a dealership. Simply go to HagerstownFord.com and click on the car you want to buy it, or use the Axle Auto app. It's that easy. You can order your new car on any device. Go to HagerstownFord.com and get your new car signed, sealed, and delivered from Hagerstown Ford.
For you, Travis.
And you don't want to discount Tyson Bagent's punting ability. Sometimes he can do a pooch punt. Last year he had a 52-yard punt in the season opener versus Ohio Dominican. So a lot of options still available here for this Shepherd Rams offensive unit.
.6:38 to go in the first quarter. Bagent takes the snap, looks over the middle, throws. I believe they got tipped as it falls incomplete. So after the interception, Shepherd turns it over on downs as is Barbosa Torres getting a claw in there since they're Owls to knock it away.
I like that. That will be anatomically correct.
I was going to say a paw, but I figured
there you go.
That wasn't very accurate.
There you go.
Travis, you want them to be the Fighting Owls.
The Fighting Owls.
Add a little bit more flair to it.
There you go.
Just regular old Owls.
Yeah.
For now.
For now. Yeah, it's early on. Things could get a little testy down the stretch.
They were getting a little testy on the sideline earlier, so who knows. But first down and 10 now from the 23-yard line. 6:34 to go in the first quarter. And it looks like Reale will stay on as he'll drop back, pump once, lose the football, and is sacked. Looks like Southern Connecticut State was over to dive back on top of it, as I believe Bednarski led the way there for Shepherd on the D line. Kyle Smith was in there, though, as well.
And just Reale, you could just tell, just the game's moving at 1,000 miles an hour for him. He's just having a tough time getting settled down. That defensive pressure is not helping that. We saw Joe Bernard warming up earlier, the senior, so curious if the Owls may look to make yet another change here in today's ball game.
So on second down and long, pass is complete underneath. Lynch comes up and hits him at around the 16-yard line. So second and 21 turns into a 3rd and 17 for Southern Connecticut State. Backed up on their own 16.
And Lynch, listed as a redshirt sophomore, but got plenty of experience last year. Appeared in 12 games, had 29 tackles, 12 of those solo, and 1 pass breakup. Had a career high in tackles versus Ferris State in that season finale.
Reale is hit as he throws, past Sales and nearly intercepted. As back there in the secondary for the Rams was Keyshawn Haley to make that play. And it will be 4th down for the Owls once again. They'll punt it deep to Shepherd's Rodney Dorsey, who stands around the Shepherd 46 and now drops back inside the 45 to about the 44-yard line.
And Haley really stands out in that secondary. He's 6'2", 200 pounds. He is a big defensive back. Transfer in from Fairmont. Played 11 games last season, had 11 tackles, 8 of those solo. 1 tackle for loss and 2 pass breakups. Has one right there.
Picarelli's punt, this time much better than his previous one. Bounces, though, on the Owls side of the field and will be down at around the 47. 5:11 to play here in this opening quarter. A 14-0 lead for the Shepherd University Rams. Team 93 for Shepherd football.
Right now, the Owls just having trouble just clearing the ball out of their zone. They started off the game with 2 excellent kick returns, but just the offense has stalled out. And the biggest thing that they're not doing, they're not winning on first down, and they're putting themselves in predictable down and distance situations where they're forced to pass the ball, and that just plays right into the strength of the defense.
Here's a screen pass complete. Getting a first down there on the far side is Shepherd. And we want to apologize for our camera issues. Our main camera lost power, so we're working to get that back for you here on TV10, and Dylan is trying to do his best job to be a main camera from the sideline. Obviously not the best angle, but we are trying our best to work as quickly as possible to get that back. So first down and 10. Avon Holly gets the carry here, and Holly fights forward for a few. Down inside the 35-yard line before being brought down by a host of Owls on that interior.
And Holly appeared in 11 games last year. He had 45 carries for 250 yards,
He was
averaging.
the fourth quarter guy.
Yeah, he came in a lot of mop-up duty, but he showed some impressive runs in that time. And sometimes, I mean, when you get those opportunities, you got to make the most of them. And Holly certainly did that. And he's a bit different from the usual body type that the Rams like to have at that running back position. They like their guys right around 5'10", 5'11", 190 pounds. But Avon Holly, 6'1", 212 pounds. So he's a bit different than what you expect from that Rams running back group.
Bagent looking to throw again, this time complete underneath to Brian Walker. Walker trucks a guy at around the 20-yard line, and it's a first down for Shepherd as the Rams continue to pick apart this Owls defense.
Again, Elijah Alexandre on the rough end of trying to match up with that big tight end Walker.
.340 to go in this first quarter. Bagent in the shotgun again. Holly to his left. 3 receivers also to the left. Now Holly goes in motion. Now lines up to the right of Bagent on first down and 10 from the 19. Bagent takes the snap, looking toward the end zone. It's a fade route. Intercepted! Southern Connecticut State will take a touchback as Bagent wanted the one-on-one play to the outside, but it was picked off. I believe that is Jakai Young with the interception there.
Maybe Josh Martinotti, the 5'11", 185-pound sophomore out of Harwinton, Connecticut. And Bagent got the matchup he wanted, but sometimes the defensive player is going to be able to go up and win some of those 50-50 balls. Like we mentioned, there's not a lot of experience in that wide receiver core in that Shepherd Rams offense. And that time, just the defensive back is able to out-muscle the wide receiver and come down with the ball. And one of the few bright spots for this Owls team so far. Let's see if this offense can translate that momentum into some offensive production.
So Reale will remain the quarterback here on first and 10 now from their own 20-yard line. 3:20 to go in this first quarter. They'll hand it off, or play action, and that pass is complete, but he is drilled there on the outside. I believe that's Batten making the play on the far side for Shepherd.
Clayton Batten, the 5'10", 185-pound sophomore, not looking into the backfield, didn't bite on that play fake, and came up hard on that quick screen. You realize you have a younger quarterback. That means that your playbook's probably going to be cut down a little bit, so it's going to be some more base stuff, some more basic stuff that he's going to be able to do, and the defense is really taking advantage of that.
That had that pick 6 against Kutztown in the playoff game. There's a false start called against Southern Connecticut State, so I'll back him up 5 on the play.
And that's something that the Owls offense is going to have to be able to do. They're going to have to be able to work in that hard count. That Rams defensive front does such a good job of getting upfield and getting penetration. And one of the things you can do to try to slow that down, switch up the snap count, see if you can get them to jump off sides a little bit. But the Rams defensive front disciplined, and the Owls jumped and puts them again in another second and long situation, putting a lot of pressure on that offense.
Pass here complete on the near side to O'Shea. And a good tackle going low to make that play for Shepherd is Howard. Excuse me, that is Christian McDowell making the play for the Rams. Pass from Reale is incomplete on the near side. So it will be 4th down and 5 as that penalty really hurt Travis, and they'll be forced to punt again.
And that's something. You have an offense that's struggling to put plays together, to put drives together. The one thing you can't do is shoot yourself in the foot and dig yourself a hole where you're putting second and long and third and long situations, just predictable down the distance situations where that defense can really just send those defensive backs up front and really play loose on the back end. So right now, the Owls in the wheelhouse of that Rams defense. That Rams defense, they're built for speed, they're built to protect leads, and right now that's the situation that they're able to take advantage of.
So Dorsey standing back at his own 38-yard line, and we'll have a timeout called by Southern Connecticut State, so we will take a 30-second break, and when we return, we'll have more Shepherd Rams football on TV 10.
Laura. Hey, Laura. What's with the sunglasses? Ouch!
The word is spreading. Bechtel Jewelers is home to some dangerously brilliant diamonds.
See the difference at Bechtel Jewelers in Inwood. Sunglasses not included.
To just outfield, Nick Verzolini alongside me is Travis Smith here in the Elm City, New Haven, Connecticut. Dorsey standing back for the Rams, and Southern Connecticut State will be forced to punt. And good pressure on the punt for Shepherd. It bounces around the 46. Dorsey will pick it up, but apparently he called fair catch, so no return there on the play. Shepherd will take over, though, at the 41-yard line. We will remind you our other first quarter sponsor here on TV 10 is brought to you by Smallwood and Small Insurance. They're located at 1250 Edwin Miller Boulevard in Martinsburg, or call them at 304-263-3361. Under 2 minutes to play, 14-0 lead for the Shepherd University Rams here at Southern Connecticut State. Bagent throwing an interception on the Rams' last drive, but still have not seen Ryan Barrick today, the punter, which shows the success of the offense early on as they'll run Brown here, and he stacked up after getting about 2 yards on the play to the 37. Looked like coming up and making that play was Richard Williams, the linebacker. One of the guys that isn't returning from last year in the starting linebacking core for the Owls. It'll be 2nd and 9 after just 1 yard on the previous play to the 43-yard line. Bajan in the gun again, calling out singles to his team. And now takes the snap, pumps once, looks underneath, complete. On the reception there for the Rams is Max Fisher, the transfer for NC State. It's another Shepherd first down into Southern Connecticut State territory to the 43-yard line.
And Fisher is a big target, 6'3", 220 pounds, and you're starting to see this Rams offense attack downfield a little bit more, not so much working the perimeter. Now they're trying to get some passes over the top.
Under a minute to play in the first quarter. They'll run it again. This time it's Avon Holly, and Holly tries to dance in the backfield. Doesn't find much room. A nice job there on the edge. Setting the edge was Josh Martinelli again. They're kind of setting the edge for Southern Connecticut State. A player down on the field, forcing it back inside so guys like Nunez and Dominic could clean it up. Player down.
couldn't see a number before he went to the ground. It looked like maybe it was Robert Zapper, number 50. 93, I'm hearing, which is Mitch McDonough. So thank you to our cameraman, Donald Kinney, for that. But the big D tackle, slow to get up. And
McDonough, a big part of that defensive front. The 6'3", 275-pound senior. Last year had 27 tackles, 13 of those solo, 3.5 tackles for a loss. He also had a half sack in those tackles for a loss. And it seems like the Rams are trying to develop some depth at their running back position. I think they feel comfortable in what they have with Ronnie Brown. Now they need to try to see what they can get out of Avon Holly. So that's why, it seems to me, that's why he's getting so many carries early on. It doesn't look like Ronnie Brown's getting worked on the sidelines, and he's made some spectacular plays so far. But this Rams team in firm control of the game. Why not go ahead and see what else you got in the cupboard for games down the stretch?
Bajan in the shotgun again. 3 receivers set, along with the tight end Brian Walker, as the whistle is blown by the officials. And I guess just restarting the play clock, it looks like. About 20 seconds to go here in this first quarter as the clock is rolling under 20 now. Bajan in the shotgun formation. Second down at about 8 from the 41-yard line. Bajan takes the snap, looks to throw, fires underneath, complete on the far side, breaking a tackle and getting down to the 30 for a first down for Shepherd. Looks to be Marlon Cook there on the outside making that play. And that appears to be the final play of the first quarter. So we will take a 1-minute break. When we return, we'll have more Shepherd Rams football action. It's Shepherd 14, Southern Connecticut State nothing. You're tuned into Shepherd football on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube. We're back in 60.
Remember when you were a little kid and saw your first deer?
Oh, how cute.
As an adult, maybe you've had a different experience.
Where'd that come from?
Bambi mess up your dream machine? Call Cody's Auto Body today at 304-901-4777 and get the work done right the first time. Cody's Auto Body, 851 Wilston Street in Martinsburg, has a team of auto body professionals with a lifetime of experience putting your ride back together again, regardless of how it got that way. Cody's Auto Body.
I'm Jonathan Bodwell, Bodwell Insurance Solutions, your local Medicare and life insurance agency. We are here to help you navigate the Medicare maze. We represent all of the major carriers, and you do not pay any more to go through us than if you go directly through a carrier. But if you go through us, you have a local professional to help you with all your Medicare needs, not a voice that could be in some other part of the world. Bodwell Insurance Solutions, your local Medicare agency. BodwellInsuranceSolutions.com or 304-283-0864.
We welcome you back to Southern Connecticut State University. It's Shepherd 14, Southern Connecticut State nothing. Nick Verzolini alongside me, Travis Smith. Shout out to our crew, Donald Kinney and Dylan Bishop on camera, along with Spencer Dupuis, our on-site producer. Colin McLaughlin back in the studio. 1st and 10 for the Rams from the Southern Connecticut State 30-yard line. Bajan takes the snap, play action. He wants the deep ball, but it's not there. Now it is. He throws end zone in between the hands and incomplete. That time it looked like it was Cook. Yeah, Marlon Cook unable to come up with that one as he just kind of broke open at the last second there. Penalty, though, on the play, so Shepherd backed up anyway.
It's going to be ineligible man downfield. Looked like it might have been something where they ran some type of RPO. And a lot of times when you're running that RPO, you have to get rid of the ball quickly because those offensive linemen are taught to treat it like a run play. So they're going to be downfield getting on blocks. So if they're able to do that and then you wind up waiting a little bit later and going deep, that's what you're going to get them in trouble. So they could have easily called offensive pass interference, but they elected to go ahead and call ineligible man downfield.
Beach and Cook are the wide receivers to the far side. Kenny Edlin, the receiver to the near side for Tyson Bajan and the Rams offense. Walker is in there at tight end. Ronnie Brown back in the backfield to the right of Bajan. For 2nd down and 10, Bajan takes the snap. It looks like a screen play. It is underneath, complete to Brown. He sheds off one tackler, hurdles a man, and gets inside the 30-yard line. Solid pickup on the play, brought down by Robert Nunez.
And again, we've said those linebackers inside linebackers' names quite a bit. They are very good. They are as good as advertised. They're flying around. They have tremendous range. And, again, they're undersized guys, only 5'11", 220 pounds, but they pack a wallet when they're able to get their hands on the ball carrier.
3rd down and 7 from the 27. Same formation for Shepherd, but now Brown goes in motion. Bagent pumps the Brown. He's under some pressure, steps up, looks to run. Bagent dives, gets tackled about a yard shy of the first down marker for the Rams. So, again, we'll have that interesting situation here. 4th and 1. You figure they have to go for it after last time going for it. As it looks like Shepherd's going to bring in Michael McCook, the fullback.
All he does is catch touchdowns.
Not quite his range here on 4th and 1 from the 21, but at one point, I believe McCook had 3 catches and 3 touchdowns, so that was the case. But this looks like the power formation for Shepherd with McCook in front of Bagent. Beach going in motion from right to left. They'll still throw, though. They'll look for McCook, and he is tackled behind the line of scrimmage, and Shepherd will turn it over on downs. Matt Ansell coming up the safety to make a big play. I mean, that's their touchdown play that they run at the goal line, but there they ran it for the 1-yard conversion, and Ansell sniffed it out.
You know that, I know that, and apparently so do the Owls. They did their film study. They knew that formation. They knew the look that was coming, and Ansell did a good job of running the alley. The 6'1", 205-pound grad student from Red Bank, New Jersey, coming up and taking down McCook. That's not an easy tackle in space. McCook is a stout fellow out in space, and Ansell able to come up and make a clean tackle. A positive defensive play that time for the Owls.
Run play here. Fighting forward for a few on the ground for Southern Connecticut State is Wilson.
All right.
As the second quarter getting rolling here, and Travis we still have not seen a punt from Shepherd. They've been on the Southern Connecticut State side of the field this whole game pretty much, but the Owls have gotten some stops here on these previous couple of drives to keep this at just a 14-0 deficit. As Reale takes the snap again, fakes to Wilson this time. Now looks out to the near side. It's incomplete through the hands of the intended target, Ryan Souls. So it'll be 3rd down and 7 from the 26-yard line.
And that's something that you just can't do. You have a young quarterback that's out there trying to get some confidence going. They're trying to get something positive going on the offensive side of the ball. That time, made a good read, took his time, saw what the defense was giving him, taking what the defense was giving him. You got to be able to come up with that catch and get something going for your quarterback on offense. And Souls that time not able to bring that catch in.
Reale looking to that is not Reale as he is now out. It's Joe Bernard, and his throw is incomplete. So,
and you noticed how he there's a more of a comfortability out there for the quarterback where things seem to be slowed down. He's able to make those reads, and you have a senior. He's been in the program for a while, so you have access to your whole playbook, and that way, the Owls giving themselves the best chance to win by putting that veteran out there. Bernard did not have the best of seasons last year, appeared in 5 games, completed 48% of his passes for 615 yards, had 1 touchdown to 5 interceptions. So to be curious to see if he's able to protect the ball today against a speedy ball hawk of a defense and these Shepherd Rams.
So it'll be another 3 and out for the Owls. 4th down and 7 here from the 26, and a flag comes in from the back judge.
Delay a game.
So that will back him up and should give Shepherd better field position here, as we've already seen.
There's been some miscommunication with that punt unit coming out. The last time they came out to punt, they had to burn a timeout because they had a player running on late. And that time, they were late to get out on the field, late to get the play off, and backing themselves up that much more to get a punt off. So right now that punter's standing in the shadow of his own goal line. That's a place you definitely don't want to be when the momentum's on the other side.
Piccarelli's punt, another short one, fielded by Dorsey, and he is hit right at the 45-yard line. They're going to mark him down at the 43. Coming up is Ansell again. So you see him on defense and you see him on special teams making big plays for this Owls football team. We'll see now. Shepherd has this great field position. They're probably going to find a way to get it onto the Southern Connecticut side of the field. But can they finish this drive, as the Rams will have it at their own 43 with 12:32 to go in this first half. 14-0 Shepherd. Drives have been stalling out, though, for the Rams recently. Ronnie Brown back in the backfield for the Rams. They'll run it with Brown. Find some room there off the right side. Not very much, though, as quickly Southern Connecticut State able to get off of its blocks and make the play for a gain of about 1. The 2nd and 9 from the 44.
We've talked about that young Rams offensive line, but that's something that the Rams offensive line has been able to do over the years, is produce smart, skilled offensive linemen year after year, able to reload, and it's just the same this year. They're looking to establish that zone concept, and they're usually pretty good at it, but it's a stout defensive front there for the Owls.
Agent throws near side, complete to Marlon Cook, down to the 49-yard line of Southern Connecticut State, coming up, making the play for the Owls.
Jerron Joseph, a 6'1", 175-pound sophomore. Ansel came out. His helmet came off on that punt, so maybe he had to come off, maybe get taped up a little bit. But he's able, Ansel's backup, able to come in and make a play that time and put Shepherd in another 3rd and short situation.
3rd and 2 from the 49. Crowd chanting defense here at Southern Connecticut State as it's filled up a little bit for this 5:30 kickoff on a Thursday night. Quick throw to the outside, complete. Marlon Cook for the first down. Cook inside the 40, sheds off one tackler, jukes a man, gets down inside the 35 before he is stacked up. Again, it looked like it was Jerron Joseph in on that play.
And what you're seeing out of this Owls front, they're showing a lot of confidence in their guys in the box. That time, matching up with Shepherd, only having 5 guys in the box, 3 down linemen, 2 inside linebackers, but they feel with the beef that they have up front that they can still be stout against the run, and they put they put 6 guys in the coverage, and that's what's making Tyson Bagent have to take those checkdowns and really not able to get the ball downfield the way he likes to stretch things out in a vertical passing game.
1st and 10 from the 34. Bagent play action, wants to go deep, but again, dumps it down to Brown, his back, and Brown gets inside the 30 to the 29-yard line before being brought down there on the far sideline. The Owls have really soared to the football so far in this ball game. Could have just said flown, but I decided to go with soared. And I mean, they're kind of a similar defense to Shepherd. You know, they have a little bit more size in the interior of the defensive line, but besides that, I mean, they are a quick defense, and they've really gotten after the Rams so far. 2nd down and 4 from the 28, keeping a lot of those plays in front of them. A few missed tackles, though, have hurt Southern Connecticut State. As Bagent takes the snap, looking to throw again, steps up. Now he'll look to run. Bagent will slide down. It's almost like he saw Ronnie Brown open, but then realized he couldn't throw him the football anymore, as he's about a yard short.
And Bagent, he is an athletic quarterback. A lot of times he uses that mobility to extend plays, but he can pull it down and pick up an occasional first down from time to time. I'm sure Coach McCook does not want him running the ball at all. As either you take your check down or throw that thing away. Cannot risk him getting hurt trying to scramble, make something happen for a team, but you got a competitor back there, quarterback, so you're going to have to take your chances.
They'll give it to Brown here on 3rd down and 1. They'll fight forward.
That's going to be
very close, but it looks like
I think they're going to be short.
A few inches short of that first down. So Shepherd again.
The Owls defense
will probably go for it here.
The Owls defense, they're stout in the box. The success that Shepherd has had running the ball so far has been off tackle and to the outside. That Shepherd Rams offensive line not getting a big push up front, and you can see they got a couple of 300-pounders in there, and they're difficult to move. You got those 2 good inside linebackers, so that Owls defense, they're built. Those interior 5 guys, they're tough to beat.
Kenny Edlin coming out to the near side for the Rams on 4th down and 1. They're going to go for it again. Bagent takes the snap. He'll fake it. He'll keep it himself and dives forward for the first down. That's the one time where Bagent's allowed to run on a read option plays. It's a first down for Shepherd. They'll extend the drive. We approach 8:20 to go in this first half. 14-0 Shepherd on top. It'll be a 1st and 10 from the 23-yard line.
Well, you know he's a competitor to his core. So if he sees something, an opportunity to make a play, he is going to take it.
So 4A out there to the far side. It's Edlin and Beach, the receivers to the near. Brian Walker in on the tight end to the near side as well. Brown remains the back on 1st and 10 from the 23. Bagent takes the snap. He's got time, steps up. Still looking to run now this time, and that time he takes a hit. Right around the line of scrimmage is coming up and making the play is Watson. It'll be 2nd down and no gain, it looks like, so 2nd down and 10 for Shepherd from the 23.
That Southern Connecticut defense, they're not playing around. They're showing their hand. Not only are they matching up with defensive backs head up over the wide receiver, they have safeties playing over top of each one of those guys. So there's a defensive back, there's a safety playing back deep. So they're showing everything that they can. It's like, you're not going to beat us over top. You're going to have to take those check downs. And that's a playbook. That is probably a play that they took out of Kutztown's defensive blueprint against Shepherd.
Bagent wants 4A in the end zone. Did he get a foot in? He did not. Running onto the track is Alfonso 4A, but he couldn't quite make the play. One of those Lackawanna transfers that Shepherd's pretty excited about, but the pass falls incomplete. It'll be 3rd down and 10.
We've mentioned Lackawanna a lot today. They are a very good football program, and they
team for Shepherd.
Yeah, they produce a lot of prospects out of there. Had an opportunity to go to a coaches clinic in Pennsylvania, and several of those Lackawanna coaches were there. And I tell you what, that was one of the best coaches clinics that I've been to. They were talking about tight ends, and man, oh man, I couldn't write fast enough the things that they were telling me.
Bagent steps up in the pocket, dumps it down, complete underneath. Making a nice play after the catch there for the Rams is Marlon Cook. Tries to get to the 1st down, sticks. I thought he was maybe going to be a little bit short, but looks like he got it.
He was able to get that 1st down due to a big block from Ronnie Brown. You heard a big oohs and ahs coming out of the crowd that time. But Ronnie Brown, he is a competitor to the core, and he's going to look to make a play for a teammate. That's something that you just want to encourage. You want a team that's going to make a deep run in the playoffs. You got to instill in them that you got to bust your butt to try to make a play for a teammate.
Cook now over 100 yards on the day as they'll give it to Brown. He gets a hole up the middle. Ronnie Brown to the goal line. He powers his way in for 6. Touchdown, Shepherd. He just made a play there out of that one, and it's 20-0 Rams. Brown with his 2nd touchdown run of the evening with 6:26 to go in the 2nd quarter.
Good choice of words when you said powers it into the end zone. That's what Shepherd ran on that play. They ran it backside, loading up to the linebacker, to the play side linebacker, and Ronnie Brown showing some patience. We know he has the burst, but that time he shows the patience of a veteran running back, letting those big uglies up front do all the dirty work, and he was able to take it the rest of the way.
Extra point for Jacob Haney is up and good. It's Shepherd 21 now. Southern Connecticut State nothing. 6:26 to go in the 1st half. We're back at 60.
Mayhem is everywhere.
I'm your new bangs, and you can't stop staring at me. That's it. Just tilt the rearview mirror over here. And while you're checking me out more times than a library book, your car is wandering into that lane over there. More bangs? Neat. And if you've got cut rate insurance, you could be paying for this yourself. So get Allstate.
Call Martinsburg Allstate agent Gary Kelly today at 304-263-4596. W. Harley Miller Systems understands the need and desire for reliable and affordable smart home solutions. Secure your home with a security system and keep a close eye on your family. Automate your home with a Control4 system and have smart technology work as one. Set daily schedules to control your thermostats. Push a button and set the mood for dinner by dimming lights and playing music, or just sit back and enjoy a movie in your own home theater. Put decades of experience to work for you. Visit us at WHMsystems.com or call 304-350-1931.
Connecticut State nothing with 6:26 to go in this 1st half. The Rams will tee it up and kick it away to the Owls. It's Martin fielding it here on this near side from around the 9-yard line. He gets another big hole, and he's out to about the 29 before being brought down. That is Reali's, or another Reali there, Mark Reali on the return, number 16. But
no relation to Tony Reali of Around the Horn.
Well, at least as far as we know.
As far as we know.
That would have been nice to have in the game notes if true.
Yes. But I'll tell you what, Lenny Bond, the special teams coach for Southern Connecticut State, has to be very happy with his kickoff return unit because they've been able to set up monster returns, just getting a lot of blockers out in front of that ball carrier, and just doing a good job of setting that offense up with good field position. Let's see if that Owls offense can make it pay dividends this time around.
So the Owls will run it on the far side. That time getting the carry appeared to be
Hagerstown Ford continues to be your leader in car sales up and down the I-81 corridor. We will beat any and all competitors' prices, and we've made buying a new car easier than ever with one-day delivery better than Amazon and a return policy better than Walmart. Your satisfaction is our guarantee. If you don't like it, simply return it and we'll come pick it up. No questions asked. Why would you shop anywhere else? At Hagerstown Ford, we take great pride in our community and supporting our local student athletes. That's why Hagerstown Ford is the official car dealership of Shepherd Rams quarterback Tyson Bagent. Our remote buying process has made new car shopping so easy, you'll never even set foot in a dealership. Simply go to HagerstownFord.com and click on the car you want to buy it, or use the Axle Auto app. It's that easy. You can order your new car on any device. Go to HagerstownFord.com and get your new car signed, sealed, and delivered from Hagerstown Ford.
WVU Heart and Vascular Institute offers world-class heart care close to home. Our board-certified physicians are performing groundbreaking procedures using cutting-edge techniques, and that's why we're expanding our services to every corner of our region, so you don't have to travel far to receive the great specialty care you deserve close to home. Now accepting new patients at all locations in Martinsburg, Hagerstown, Shepherdstown, Winchester, and at our newest office in Ranson. WVU Heart and Vascular Institute, world-class heart care close to home.
Hello?
We're here again 3 times in the past 2 days.
You're where?
Bechtel Jewelers. Look.
Can Mom hear you?
No, she's in a diamond coma. Get her the pendant, or I will.
Hey, that's my credit card.
What? Can't hear you, Dad. You're breaking up.
It's going to take more than a crying baby to wake her out of this diamond coma. You're going to need a mega dose of jewelry from Bechtel Jewelers.
When will I be able to retire? How do I make the most of the money I have? How do I leave a lasting legacy to my loved ones? I'm Philip McCoy, financial advisor with the Mirius Group, a private wealth advisory practice of Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated. Call us today at 304-263-4343 to help you make the most of your financial future. Our office is located at 1270 Winchester Avenue, Martinsburg, West Virginia.
Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated, member FINRA and SIPC.
Hi, I'm Annette McDonald, and I am the designer at Orsini's in Martinsburg, West Virginia. We welcome you into our store to show you a complete line of what we do here. We design your cabinetry, quartz countertops, granite countertops, hardware, anything for the full remodel of your kitchen and your home needs. We also do bathrooms, and we have flooring available too. We make sure that your project with Orsini's is the best in the market. Welcome to Orsini's.
Orsini's.com.
CMA Honda of Winchester understands supply chain issues in the automotive industry that has significantly reduced dealer inventories of new cars. That's why we have launched Drive More Days now through September 5th. CMA is already committed to never charging over a sticker for our new vehicles, but now, during
the offense will try to prevent that from happening here on 3rd and 10 from their own 28-yard line. Marlon Cook is the receiver to the near side. Looks like Beach and Forey to the far side for Shepherd.
Another too high safety look from that Owls defense.
Bagent looking deep down the middle of the field for Brian Walker. He had him wide open. It would have been 6 if Bagent could have connected, but the senior tight end wasn't fast enough, and Bagent didn't quite put it on the money there. It'll be incomplete. Shepherd will bring on Ryan Barrick for the first time this season.
And again, it's the first game of the season for everybody, even a seasoned veteran like Tyson Bagent. So you see some of that chemistry and timing and spacing. Not quite there yet, but they've come out playing pretty well so far, so you can't be disappointed. But that's one of the things. You're going up against that too high safety look. You want to try to get a post deep over the middle to try to attack that empty space of the field.
Barrick had a great season a year ago for Shepherd. It's a pretty good punt here as it'll come to the near side, be fielded and taken out toward midfield for Southern Connecticut State. On the return for them was Muhammad Moody. So great field position again for the Owls, but they've been victim of several 3-and-outs here in this first half. Got about 3:20 to go, Travis. If they can get in the end zone here before halftime,
that would be huge. It would be huge.
And they get the second half kickoff. Or no, they receive. So Shepherd will get the second half kickoff, but still make it a 14-point game before halftime here. So 3:20 to go, 21-0. Shepherd on top. We'll see what Bernard and the offense want to do, and they want to go deep down the middle of the field, and they had a big play in stride trying to connect with Popolo, but they couldn't quite get it to him. And occasionally, that's been the concern in the past for Shepherd. It's the deep balls against the secondary. They had him beat. Probably could have stopped Popolo before he got into the end zone, but it would have definitely given you a lot of confidence if you're Southern Connecticut State to potentially get on the board there. 3:13 to go still.
But you can tell Bernard just gives you that veteran presence at the quarterback position, access to the whole playbook, and they're able to be a little bit more aggressive on the offensive side of the ball with him in the game.
Here's a screenplay complete underneath. Looked like he was going to be trouble, but flying to the football again is Kevin Kauser to make the play on the reception.
That time just a smoke screen. Yeah, smoke screen to the wide receiver that time. You want to try to give that aggressive defense a little something extra to think about instead of just getting upfield and attack. You hit them with a screen. Maybe you put it in the back of their mind that they got to back off a little bit. That's going to give you a little bit more space to operate with here on a 3rd and short.
Looks like we have a wildcat formation for Southern Connecticut State as
Yeah, that's Popolo
was in the backfield for 3rd down and 2, and that caused, I believe, Shepherd to take its final timeout here this first half. So let's go ahead and take that 30-second break, and we return. We'll have more Shepherd football action on TV 10.
Located at 4529 Shepherdstown Road in Martinsburg, the Neon Moon Tavern has delicious food and cold beverages. Stop on in Mondays for some mayhem with us and Shepherd quarterback Tyson Bagent, or on Tuesday for some gourmet tacos. Wednesdays is whiskey and trivia night, Thursday is steak night, Fridays are dinner specials, Saturdays there's live music, and Sunday morning is brunch. We're open every day from 11 a.m. to 3 a.m. Call us at 304-260-4002 for takeout or stop on in to the Neon Moon Tavern.
Welcome you back here to Just Out Field. Nick Verzolini alongside me is Travis Smith as we got a 3rd and 2. Popolo in the Wildcat formation. He'll keep. Trying to get to the outside. Shepherd chasing him down. Kauser comes over and makes the play again. It's Kevin Kauser all over the field for the Rams. Several guys, though, did a good job on that play, Travis, to slow things down to prevent Popolo from getting to the edge. If he could have got to the edge, he probably beats Kauser there and gets that first down.
Kauser, 6'1", 240 pounds, but he can roll from sideline to sideline. That time the Owls trying to get tricky. When you're down this big and your offense is stagnant, you got to reach deep into your bag of tricks to try to loosen some things up and get some momentum on your side of the ball. And that time, just that Rams defense, again, just showing that type of speed, athleticism, range, sideline to sideline. So you really have to try to make your hay going straight at them, because if you're trying to run to get outside, you're really playing into the teeth of the defense. And right now, the Owls have a tough decision to make. They have the ball in Rams territory, 2:15 left. They got a couple of timeouts, and they're desperately looking for some points before they go into halftime.
Kevin Kauser, he wears number 52. He's from Windsor Mill, Maryland. Went to Baltimore City College. Maybe it reminds you a little bit of a 52, right? 6'1", 240, around the same size.
Yeah.
Sideline to sideline speed.
He's got a little bit more to do before we start making that comparison.
Right. But that's maybe who he inspires to be.
But hey, if you're looking for a mentor, that's definitely a guy that you want to look up to.
Especially if you're an inside linebacker.
Absolutely.
4th down and 3 from the 42. 2:15 to go. Southern Connecticut State's going to go for it. Bernard takes the snap, looks to throw complete underneath for a first down for the Owls. It's Tim O'Shea picking it up, and the drive will continue.
That looked similar to a play that they ran earlier in the game where there was a miscommunication between the quarterback and the tight end. It's an option route where either he runs that hitch or he runs an out. That time he runs the out. The senior quarterback knew where he was going, able to put the ball, Johnny, on the spot.
Pass there. Intercepted! It's Dwayne Grantham again with the interception. Grantham all the way down to the 40-yard line. That one was tipped, that time not by Grantham. He had tipped the previous interception to himself and made the play. And the Rams get a turnover right when Southern Connecticut State finally had some momentum, finally broke their streak of 3 and outs. They turn it over, and now Shepard with 1:49 to go has it on the Southern Connecticut State side of the field.
It looked like it was a miscommunication between the quarterback and the running back. Looked like they were trying to set up some type of screen or little curl right at the linebacker depth. The running back kept running, and Bernard just threw a lollipop right over that defensive front, right into the hands of Grantham. And that has been a problem for Bernard, like we mentioned, threw 5 interceptions last year in limited action.
1:49 to go. Shepard with it on the Southern Connecticut State 47-yard line. Bajent looks underneath, complete. Ronnie Brown. Brown sheds off one tackler, slips past the other one, has a first down to the 34-yard line. Arm tackles do not bring down number 30 in gray.
Bad technique does not bring down
That's even worse.
Ronnie Brown. Guys coming in too high, he's going to leave you hanging in there.
Down to the 34, 1:30 to go in this first half. 21-0 Shepard, and the Rams are on the doorstep once again. First down and 10. Bajent looks to throw. Complete there on the far side. Another first down for the Rams. Coming up and making the tackle appeared to be Matt Ansell again.
You kind of got a feel for that Owls defense. They're a really good unit, but it's a lot of times, a lot of defenses when you're going out there going up against that Rams offense where you do a lot of things right, but you just don't have a guy like Tyson Bajent.
What a play there. First and 10 complete as it's caught after being tipped.
Ansell's able to knock him out of bounds, but
that is Ronnie Brown again. He does a little
a little bow
for us. As Brown, if you had him on your PPR fantasy team today, he is going berserk.
I tell you, even the home crowd, a lot of oohs and ahs when Ronnie Brown's out there making guys miss.
Tyson Bajent now over 200 yards passing in this first half. 54 seconds to go in the first half. 21-0 Shepard.
Heavy look up front again for the Rams. Let's see if they go back to the power again on this one.
Bajent takes the snap. Looks to throw. That's got to be pass interference.
Everybody throws a flag on that one. The lady at the concession stand threw a flag. Security guard out in the parking lot, he threw a flag. My goodness. He nearly snatched his jersey off on that one. But, hey, it's better than giving up a touchdown. You're only going to give up half the distance to the goal. So the penalty or the yards isn't going to hurt you, but you don't want to give up that touchdown. So you know what? I can't blame Alexandria for just go ahead and I'm just going to tackle you, Beach. You're too fast, and there's too much space to try to cover you.
Yeah, I mean, yardage-wise, it's not going to kill you if you're Southern Connecticut State. At this point, you might as well make them earn the touchdown without another play here. Nobody lined up on Beach here from first and goal. They'll bring him in motion, throw it in front. Ryan Beach gets a blocker, and he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Shepard. It's now 27-0 here with 42 to go in the first half, and that play just looked too easy for the Rams.
You run that jet sweep down on the goal line, it is so tough because they have to honor your heavy set. You're loaded up, look like you're going to run right at them, so you have to put extra guys in the box, and when you do that, you kind of leave yourself a little exposed and vulnerable on the edge, and you got somebody fast like Beach, that's an easy pitch and catch.
So the Rams take a 27-0 lead. Jacob Haney on to attempt the extra point with 42 seconds to go. Before halftime, he gets set up by the Dwayne Grantham interception, setting the Rams up on the 47-yard line of Southern Connecticut State. Haney's kick was shanked and no good believe it was blocked by the Owls. So 42 seconds to go in this first half. We will take a minute break and return with more Shepherd football.
Hagerstown Ford continues to be your leader in car sales up and down the I-81 corridor. We will beat any and all competitors' prices, and we've made buying a new car easier than ever with one-day delivery better than Amazon and a return policy better than Walmart. Your satisfaction is our guarantee. If you don't like it, simply return it and we'll come pick it up. No questions asked. Why would you shop anywhere else? At Hagerstown Ford, we take great pride in our community and supporting our local student athletes. That's why Hagerstown Ford is the official car dealership of Shepherd Rams quarterback Tyson Bagent. Our remote buying process has made new car shopping so easy, you'll never even set foot in a dealership. Simply go to HagerstownFord.com and click on the car you want to buy it, or use the Axle Auto app. It's that easy. You can order your new car on any device. Go to HagerstownFord.com and get your new car signed, sealed, and delivered from Hagerstown Ford.
Welcome you back to Southern Connecticut State, 27-0 Shepherd. Here at Hagerstown Field, Nick Verzolini alongside me, Travis Smith. And the Rams will try a short kick, keep it on the ground. And Southern Connecticut State will come up with it at the 27-yard line. That's what they'll take over here. 40 seconds to go before halftime. Since Shepherd gets it back, I think the Owls are going to try to score here before half.
And Shepherd showing respect to that Owls kickoff return unit. They've put together some really good returns so far today. So you kick that squib on the ground, you limit the ability to get that full return on. You give them good field position, but you're willing to give them that because
good but not great.
Yeah, good but not great. But your defense has been stout all day. So I mean, it's a smart play, a little chess match there on special teams for both coaches.
And if we go back to last year, special teams was an issue for the Rams early in the season. Cleaned it up eventually, but early in the year they give up a couple of kick returns, punts. Here's a run. It looks like Southern Connecticut State's just going to take it to halftime essentially. There's no room there on that play. Looks like Ofrey was in on that play, Cedric Ofrey, to make that tackle. So we approach now 20 seconds to go. 27-0 Shepherd, first half of play. It's a 2nd and 11. And it looks like Southern Connecticut State's going to let it go to halftime. As a pretty dominating first half, especially from the Rams' defense. The offense was great as well, but the Rams' defense allowed nothing for Southern Connecticut State. There were a few drives that stalled out for Shepherd offensively. But overall, Travis, a really good first half for the Rams. We'll talk more about it here on the Mansion Freddy halftime show. Currently, we'll wait for Dylan Bishop to track down the head coach of the Shepherd University Rams, Ernie McCook. And it looks like Dylan has Coach McCook. So, Dylan, we will send it to you when you are ready with the head coach of the Shepherd Rams, Ernie McCook.
Coach, defense pitched a shutout in that first half. What do you like what they're doing so far?
We're a young football team, you know, so we got to continue to get better one play at a time. After playing, we've got to work our butts off to do it.
And from Ronnie Brown, you've had a big half on the ground. What do you like from the offense so far and continue in the second half?
I like how Tyson's doing a good job distributing the football, and we're getting the ball to a lot of different people's run and pass. So I think it's a complete team effort here in the first half.
All right. Thank you, Coach. Let's send it back up to you, Nick.
Thank you, Dylan. So we will take a 2-minute break. When we return, we'll have the halftime show. This is Shepherd University Rams football on TV 10.
At the Berkeley County Health Department, our motto is prevent, promote, protect. Since 1935, our mission has been to provide clinical and environmental services to protect the health of the general public. We're committed to building public health in our community by offering a wide range of services, including blood pressure screening, breast and cervical screening, family planning, counseling, lab testing, and more. We perform health inspections to make sure the restaurants you visit are clean, and we prepare and coordinate plans to respond to all hazards. The Berkeley County Health Department, 122 Waverly Court, Martinsburg.
If you're in an accident, the first thing that you have to do is call 911. You have to get medical care immediately.
The next thing you need to do is call us. When you hire us at the Skinner Law Firm, what we do is we are going to investigate your case, and we're going to lay out the options that you have, all at no cost to you.
We will use all of our resources and all of our experience to get you what you deserve. That's what we mean by treating you like family.
W. Harley Miller Systems understands the need and desire for reliable and affordable smart home solutions. Secure your home with a security system and keep a close eye on your family. Automate your home with a Control4 system and have smart technology work as one. Set daily schedules to control your thermostats. Push a button and set the mood for dinner by dimming lights and playing music, or just sit back and enjoy a movie in your own home theater. Put decades of experience to work for you. Visit us at WHMsystems.com or call 304-350-1931.
We're at the half. Time for a scoring recap, stats and analysis, scores from around the PSAC and Super Region 1, the Division I Top 25, and the latest on the West Virginia University Mountaineers and Marshall University Thundering Herd. Let's get it started as we go back to the field and rejoin our TV10 broadcast team.
To Hagerstown Field, Nick Verzolini alongside me, Travis Smith here on the Mansion Freddy halftime show. Mansion Freddy Law Firm in Martinsburg, where it's about seeking justice for you. Go to wvjusticelawyers.com. Shepherd leading here at the half, 27-0 over Southern Connecticut State. And Travis, a really good first half for the Rams. Tyson Bajan leading the way offensively, but also Ronnie Brown doing a lot of great things on the ground and through the air. And overall, you got to be really happy, I think, of your coach Ernie McCook and his staff with the Rams' first half effort. The defense, too. Young guys, we were worried about them, but they seem to come to play.
You mentioned that was the biggest question mark coming into this season. They graduated a ton of guys from last year's team, and you have a middle linebacker like Chris Lane, who was the heart and soul of that defensive unit. So not only did you have to replace his production, but you also had to try to replace his leadership. So it's great to see that Rams defense really go out there and establish a foothold right now. That Owls offense really having issues coming up with answers out there. Really don't have a question for it at quarterback. They've already shuffled through a couple guys so far. They haven't been able to avoid third and long situations, and we all know that defense has been recruited and built to protect leads and really get after it on third and long situations, and the Owls have not been able to get out of that. So you have to take your hat off to that Rams defense. They had the biggest question mark, but I tell you what, they've came out, they've punched the Owls in the mouth and really trying to set the tone for what they want to try to accomplish this season. You look on the offensive side of the ball for the Rams, hey, I am in the Ronnie Brown fan club. Get that man the ball, and good things are going to happen. Tyson Bajan, you already know what you have with the Harlan Hill winner. He's going to be the conductor for the symphony. He's going to be able to distribute the ball to the wide receivers. We've had some drops out there, a couple of miscues, but you know the veteran quarterback is going to get those guys lined up right. It looks like they're giving Tyson a little bit more to do at the line of scrimmage. He's making a few more calls at the line of scrimmage, adjusting looks, calling audibles, and that's something that you expect out of a guy that's been in the program as many years as Tyson Bajan is, as much of the offense that runs through him. So why not hand him the keys? You can certainly trust the ball in his hands. The Rams offense has certainly been able to capitalize on the opportunities that the defense has been able to create for them.
So you mentioned the defense, and we talked about 3 and outs. Southern Connecticut State only had 1 first down in that first half. Shepherd had 16. So we get into some first half stats for you. 1 first down. It came on that drive where then Southern Connecticut State would throw an interception shortly after that first down. It's been 12 rushing attempts for the Owls, for a total of just 5 yards. That's 0.4 yards a carry for Shepherd. 14 rushing attempts for 92 yards, almost 7 yards a carry. The Rams have completed 20 passes in the first half for 221 yards. Southern Connecticut State, 5 completions for just 24 yards. That's 11 to 5 per reception. Bajan is 20 of 28 passing. 1 touchdown, 1 interception in that first half. Southern Connecticut State as a team is 5 of 13 passing. The Rams have no turnovers. There's 2 turnovers on the Southern Connecticut State side of things. Shepherd's averaging almost 8 yards a play, while the Owls are averaging just about 1 yard a play. And Shepherd has just 1 punt, 6 punts in the first half for Southern Connecticut State. Time of possession, though, is pretty close. Shepherd held it for 18 minutes, 11 minutes for the Owls, and you would think there'd be a bigger jump of just 1 first down, but Shepherd runs such a quick offense that it hasn't been. Southern Connecticut State also 0 of 7 on third down, so the Rams are doing a good job of getting off the field in those third down situations.
Because they're putting them in third and long, and that's something that defense, they're just so good at doing. They get you out of the thing that you want to do. That's one of the, basically, I don't think you could call it a secret, but that's certainly a tactic of this Shepherd Rams team is, you know, the offense is going to score points, and what that does is kind of get the opposing team to kind of abandon their plan coming into the game offensively, because they have to try to change things up, speed up their schedule, because they have to try to match that offensive production. And once you abandon your game plan and you start trying to hurry up and force the ball down the field, that just really just plays into the strength of the defense. They're speedy, they're athletic, they're aggressive, they're flying around. We're talking about linebackers making plays sideline to sideline. So right now, the Shepherd team really has them in a bad spot where they're having to try to dig out of a hole in that Rams defense. They're built to protect leads, and that's exactly what they've been doing so far today.
So to give you some individual numbers here before we take our first break here on the halftime show. Tyson Bajan, 221 yards passing in the first half. Joe Bernard just 15 for Southern Connecticut State, and Mark Reale with just 9. In the rushing category for Shepherd, it's Ronnie Brown for 76 yards, Bajan for 10 on the ground. Southern Connecticut State, Deontay Wilson just 13 total yards, Sean Martin 8 for them. And then in the receiving category, Brown also leading the team in receptions with 6. Marlon Cook has 5, Max Fisher 3, Brian Walker 2. And receiving yards, Cook over 100 already, 103 yards and a touchdown. Ronnie Brown has 46 receiving, Max Fisher has 38, and Brian Walker has 26. They're only crediting Bajan with 1 touchdown pass, but I believe it should be 2, as that play to Ryan Beach, was ruled a rushing play, but that was a forward pass, so it should be 2 touchdown passes for him, and Beach should have a receiving touchdown, not a rushing. Tim O'Shea with 2 catches. He's the leader for Southern Connecticut State, but just 17 total yards for him in that first half. So, Travis, we'll take our first break. When we come back, we'll send it to Colin McLaughlin back in Martinsburg, who will have a scoreboard update for you, get you maybe a little bit more of Pitt, West Virginia preview, and then send it back to us. This is West Virginia High School football. No, this is Shepherd University Rams football on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube.
Here's to the grown-ups. Your car is now your office. Stage, nursery. Sorry, insuring it shouldn't be a headache. Erie, #1 in the nation for highest satisfaction with the auto insurance purchase experience 6 years in a row. And with Erie, you get your own independent agent, not a giant corporate call center or some online robot. You meet with a real person, like this.
Your local Erie agent in Martinsburg is Smallwood & Small Insurance. Get a quote at smallwoodandsmall.com.
Erie Insurance.
When it comes to breast cancer, early detection is the key. During October, WVU Medicine Berkeley Medical Center and Jefferson Medical Center will offer 3D mammogram screening clinics to women 40 and older on Saturdays at our women's imaging centers in Ranson and Spring Mills for just $60. This discounted fee helps patients who haven't met their deductible, whose insurance doesn't include one with an annual exam, or for those with no insurance. Schedule your discounted 3D mammogram today. Call WVU Medicine at 1-844-802-2734, option 2.
You've been in an accident. The choice of a lawyer may be the biggest decision you make for you and your family's future. At Mansion Ferretti, we offer a free consultation and no fees until we win your case. Call us today and protect your future. Mansion Ferretti, when you need justice.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%, Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
Welcome into the Halftime Scoreboard Show. Colin McLaughlin here for TV10 and WRNR TV on YouTube, as at the half, the Shepherd Rams lead Southern Connecticut State by a score of 27-0, and that offense looking pretty solid so far, and the defense looking absolutely outstanding, pitching the first half shutout for the Rams in the season opener. Let's now get into some scores from around the Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference. A few games going on today in the PSAC, as in the second quarter with 7:36 to go, it's West Liberty leading Clarion by a score of 14-7. At the start of the second quarter, it's number 21 Cal U leading Fairmont State 7-0. And then kicking off at 7 o'clock, it's East Stroudsburg against Pace. Also at 7 o'clock, it will be Charleston against Gannon, and Millersville against St. Anselm will also kick off at 7, as well as Seton Hill and Wheeling. Tomorrow it will be Bentley University against Westchester, and then on Saturday it'll be Kutztown against Assumption, Lock Haven against Post, Shippensburg against West Virginia State, Edinburgh against Franklin Pierce, Stonehill against Bloomsburg, Wayne State against Slippery Rock, and Mercyhurst against Alderson Broaddus. Let's now get into some Division I games, as just getting ready to kick off, and you can hear the game on 106.5 FM, 740 AM Talk Radio WRNR. The West Virginia Mountaineers taking on number 17 in the nation, the Pitt Panthers, in the 105th edition of the Backyard Brawl. Again, that kicking off right now, and you can go over to the radio side if you want to hear that, but other games going on, the only one in Division I is St. Francis of PA taking on Akron. Those two teams are tied at 10 apiece in the second quarter. Also kicking off at 7 o'clock, number 12 Oklahoma State against Central Michigan, Ball State against Tennessee, South Carolina State against UCF, Bryant against Florida International, Long Island against Toledo, and Wake Forest taking on VMI. That kicks off at 7:30. At 8 o'clock, it's Penn State against Purdue, Eastern Illinois against Northern Illinois, Alabama A&M against UAB, Louisiana Tech against Missouri. At 9 o'clock, it's New Mexico State against Minnesota. At 10 o'clock, it's Northern Arizona against Arizona State. And at 10:30 tonight, it's Cal Poly against Fresno State and Portland State against San Jose State. That's going to wrap things up here on the Halftime Scoreboard Show. I'm Colin McLaughlin with your score. It's Shepherd 27, Southern Connecticut State 0. I'll take a 2-minute break and send it back to Nick and Travis for the second half, live from New Haven.
Jambo Construction and Fencing Company, LLC, is a veteran-owned and operated company right here in the Eastern Panhandle of West Virginia that specializes in decks, fencing, and hardscaping. Find us on Facebook at Jambo Construction and Fencing to see more of the projects we've completed. For a free estimate, you can call Bo Bartley at 304-268-5452 or Jamie Gall at 304-279-5053. We are licensed and insured in the state of West Virginia, and as Martinsburg alums, we say, go Bulldogs.
Erie Insurance says here's to the grown-ups who move, mortgage, mow, and still bust a move. But does your home insurance still fit? Erie helps you protect the home you've grown into, all at fair prices that are often less than the other guys. So how do you find the right coverage? Magic. Nope. Local independent agents who get to know you like this.
Your local Erie agent in Martinsburg is Smallwood & Small Insurance. Get a quote at smallwoodandsmall.com.
Erie Insurance.
If you're in an accident, the first thing that you have to do is call 911. You have to get medical care immediately.
The next thing you need to do is call us. When you hire us at the Skinner Law Firm, what we do is we are going to investigate your case and we're going to lay out the options that you have, all at no cost to you.
We will use all of our resources and all of our experience to get you what you deserve. That's what we mean by treating you like family.
At the Berkeley County Health Department, our motto is prevent, promote, protect. Since 1935, our mission has been to provide clinical and environmental services to protect the health of the general public. We're committed to building public health in our community by offering a wide range of services, including blood pressure screening, breast and cervical screening, family planning, counseling, lab testing, and more. We perform health inspections to make sure the restaurants you visit are clean, and we prepare and coordinate plans to respond to all hazards. The Berkeley County Health Department, 122 Waverly Court, Martinsburg.
We welcome you back to Southern Connecticut State University in New Haven, Connecticut. I'm Nick Verzolini. Alongside me, Travis Smith. Shout out to our crew, Donald Kinney, Spencer Dupuis, our on-site producer, and Dylan Bishop on camera as well with Donald. And got to hear from Dylan with Coach McCook at the half. Travis, we got about 3 minutes until the second half kickoff. What do you think Shepherd could maybe do better, if anything, here in the second half? And Southern Connecticut State, how do they kind of try to get themselves back in this ballgame? Because 27 points, while it's a lot, it's not
insurmountable.
Right, it is possible.
Yeah. Well, one thing I think that they really want to work on is trying to get that timing down with the passing game. They got a lot of new faces in new places, so they want to try to get a little bit more comfortable with guys lining up correctly, getting to the right spot on time, because you know Tyson Bajan is going to get it to the right spot at the right time. So work on timing in that passing game, and that's going to come. You have that many changes, that much turnover. There's going to be some issues with chemistry early on, and those are some of the kinks that you want to work out here in the first game. But I think something that they can really be happy about is how productive that they've been in the running game, the little bit that they've shown so far. We've seen Avon Holly come out. They want to try to develop some depth in that running game. Much like Tyson Bajan is a known quantity in that passing game, you know you got something special in the running game with Ronnie Brown, so you want to develop some depth behind him, especially in a game where you're in a commanding lead. You can go ahead and take some liberties and try to develop some of that depth, because this is a team, even though they lost a lot from last year, they still have aspirations to make a deep run this year, so you still have some things to clean up as far as just you want to develop some depth, some timing, some chemistry, and you have a chance to do it in a live game situation against a tough opponent. Let's not sleep on the Owls. Their special teams have been good. Their defense has been stout. They've just been out there too long. And the Owls, they just need to try to get something together on offense. They've just been struggling. They really haven't had any answers at the quarterback position. They've cycled through a couple running backs. They had some offensive linemen that went down early on in the game. So, the breaks have really gone against them on the offensive side of the ball. So if they're looking to claw back into this game, they're going to have to make some plays on the offensive side of the ball. They had a deep shot late in that second half to Popolo, and it was just a little bit too long, but a play like that could have been huge in trying to give them a foothold and establish some momentum to carry them here into the second half.
Yeah, I mean, coming in, we were hyped up. Southern Connecticut was hyped up that their quarterback, Jackson Ostrowski, was back from injury that he had suffered last season. He was going to play in this game. He was listed as a starter. And then Mark Reale's out there at quarterback, and obviously, a younger sophomore guy, not the guy that was expected to start. We don't know when Ostrowski was ruled out of the lineup, but, I mean, that had to come pretty late in the week, considering that when the 2-deep was published, he was the starter. So definitely, an injury there throws you off a little bit. Get a young guy in there, he struggles. Bernard, I think, could potentially bring a little bit more stability, a little bit more confidence to the position. We'll have to wait and see how that turns out. We're about ready for the second half or second off kickoff, brought to you by Mountaineer Grill and Pub, located at 214 Mid-Atlantic Parkway in Martinsburg. And it's 27-0 Southern Connecticut State on top as we get ready for this third quarter. The Owls received the opening kickoff, so Shepherd will get it to begin this second half, and a chance, Travis, to really pull away, and if they're able to go up 34-0, it's going to be very tough. So Southern Connecticut State's going to need this stop.
So curious to see if the Owls are going to try to use some trickeration on special teams. So far, their special teams unit has shown some flashes to make some very nice plays. Let's see if they try to reach a little bit deeper into that bag of tricks and try to get some momentum early on, possibly with an onside kick.
Our second half kickoff brought to you by the Neon Moon Tavern, located at 4529 Shepherdstown Road in Martinsburg, or call them at 304-260-4002. Neon Moon Tavern, the host of our Monday Night Mayhem show, which is a Shepherd-focused Monday Night Football show. Pretty interesting stuff. Got Travis Bagent, the Beast, out there as the second half kickoff goes deep to the Rams. And that appears to be Dorsey. Dorsey across the 30. Actually, that was Alfonso Foray, excuse me. So Foray and Dorsey were back deep. Foray ended up returning that one. It's a good return, though. The Rams will have it around the 40. But as I say, Monday Night Mayhem every Monday night until the end of the Monday Night Football season. Tyson Bagent's there. Ernie McCook will be there weekly. Like I said, Travis Bagent's got a little contest going on in arm wrestling. So go out to the Neon Moon, check that out. Tune in on TV 10 for Monday Night Mayhem, along with on the radio side of things on Talk Radio WRNR 106.5 FM and AM 740. But the Rams are back on offense. First down and 10 from the 39. Bagent will throw quickly. It's complete and met right away is Marlon Cook there on that far side. As Alexandre coming up and making that tackle.
And Alexandre got picked on a little bit there in that first half, but he was able to sniff that one out quickly, come up and make the play. I'm not sure if that was Andre, because it looks like Alexandre is closer to our side. They look like that may have been Ja'Kai Young coming up making the tackle. 6 foot, 175 pounds, able to fight through the blocker and make the tackle a yard deep in the backfield.
I believe you're correct on that one, Travis. So second down and 11 for the Shepherd University Rams. We'll send Walker, bring him in tight, and now Bagent will look to throw. Throws underneath, complete. Caught there by Max Fisher on the reception for the Rams. So it'll be third down, third and about 4. And this is a big third down in this ball game as it's cooled down here in New Haven. Lights coming on, sun going down.
Fisher, a bigger body, kind of looks like he could be a tight end at 6'3", 220 pounds. He's a biscuit away from being a tight end.
Had to double check and make sure that wasn't Brian Walker, but it was Max Fisher on that reception as Bagent looks to throw. Under some pressure, throws. That time it's Brian Walker. He's got the first down and more. Lowers the shoulder at the 30 and finally dragged down on the play by Navon Austin, the safety, coming up and making that play. Walker on the reception. It's a first down for Shepherd to the Owls' 26-yard line. Bagent and the offense want to go quickly as out on the outside for Shepherd is Marlon Cook to this near side. Kenny Edlin and Ryan Beach, the receivers, to the far. Ronnie Brown, the back, play action. Bagent looking toward the wheel route for Ryan Beach. He makes the catch, dives for the end zone. Touchdown, Shepherd. That wheel route play was a big play for the Rams last year in their season opener. They hit Ryan Beach for a touchdown against Ohio Dominican. They're a shorter play, but it's still 6 for the Rams. 26 yards, Bagent to Beach, and Shepherd extends the lead quickly here in the second half with 12:51 to go. 33-0 Shepherd with the extra point pending.
And the Rams able to set that play up using that run play action away from the play. Tyson Bagent's able to pull it, roll out, buy himself some time, just threw a pass. Didn't have to be super-duper accurate with it, but he was able to get it to Beach, and Beach was able to do the rest.
Bagent now 286 passing yards. The extra point is up and good from Jacob Haney. It's Shepherd 34, Southern Connecticut State nothing. We're back in 60 seconds, 12:51 to play in this third quarter.
This is Ben Copenhaver, your local alarm professional at Dynamark Atlantic Security. Did you know that home break-ins are 6% more likely during the day? That's right. The bad guys know when you're away, and they are smarter than you think. Dynamark Atlantic Security has the security solutions for you. Don't commit the error when the game is on the line. Phone me today at 304-671-2158 to learn how to play good defense against the bad guys. Dynamark Atlantic Security. Call today at 304-671-2158.
At the Berkeley County Health Department, our motto is Prevent, Promote, Protect. Since 1935, our mission has been to provide clinical and environmental services to protect the health of the general public. We're committed to building public health in our community by offering a wide range of services, including blood pressure screening, breast and cervical screening, family planning, counseling, lab testing, and more. We perform health inspections to make sure the restaurants you visit are clean, and we prepare and coordinate plans to respond to all hazards. The Berkeley County Health Department, 122 Waverly Court, Martinsburg.
Rams will pop it up again, respecting that Southern Connecticut State return team. And they'll start at their own 26-yard line. Nick Verzolini alongside me. Travis Smith, 34-0 Shepherd. The Rams go down the field. And to start this second half, cap it off with a 26-yard touchdown pass from Tyson Bajan to Ryan Beach, taking just over 3 minutes off, or just over 2 minutes off the clock to go down the field and score, make it score 34-0. Our scoring drive summary brought to you by Jason Barrett for State Senate. Trusted leadership, real solutions. It's a first down and 10 for the Owls with 12:49 to go in this third quarter. Reale back in at quarterback, and they'll run the ball up the middle. And not much room there for Southern Connecticut State, as it looks like Pena came up and made the tackle from his defensive back, kind of extra linebacker on the field there.
And that time, Wilson just trying to take the quick inside handoff. Looked like the Owls trying to use a trap to try to take advantage of that rush up front from the speedy defensive front of that Rams defense, but able to create a little bit of space, but still only giving up 2 or 3 yards on that play.
So Reale will throw. He gets drilled by Kyle Smith, looking deep for Popolo, and it's incomplete, but pass interference is going to be called on Emilio Pena.
I don't know. That looks like that could be easily called offensive pass interference. Pena got his head turned around. He located the ball. He didn't initiate the contact, and it looked like the wide receiver tried to go over his back. So, I mean, usually it goes to the offensive guy. I don't know about that one.
They're going to call it on Pena. This is our third quarter, presented to you on TV 10 by Chris Ross and the Milestone Real Estate Group at Keller Williams. Buying or selling a home, call 304-579-7349 or go to callchrisross.com. We got second down here. Well, the penalty will be a first down, excuse me. So, first down here for Southern Connecticut State, and our other third quarter sponsor on TV 10 is Smallwood and Small Insurance in Martinsburg, your total insurance solution at 121 Administrative Drive. Call 304-263-3361.
And that's a tough situation for a coach. You got exactly what you wanted out of your defensive back. He played it the way you have coached him and played it. He stayed in phase. He got his head around, located the ball, and he rode the wide receiver out a little bit, but I don't think that was enough for him to be called for defensive pass interference.
So they'll run Wilson. He gets a few across the 45 to about the 47-yard line. Gain about 4 on the play. We'll give him the 48. Give him 3. Second down and 7 here from the 47. 11:40 in a rolling clock in this third quarter. Reale takes the snap again under pressure. Has him sacked from behind by Malik Holloway. Ball came out. And it will stay with Southern Connecticut. They're able to dive back on top of it. But now we've seen a sack from Kyle Smith and a sack from Malik Holloway. 2 of the big guys returning on this Rams defense, who continues to look great. Third down and 13 here for Southern Connecticut State.
Holloway able to take advantage of the backup left tackle, Eric Suda, coming in for Gomez, who went down early on in the game. And if that wasn't a sack, it should have been a hold call on that play.
Third and 13. Reale under pressure again, throws back across his body. Dwayne Grantham, he is all around the football in the pass plays, and he breaks that one up. It will be 4th down and 13 for Southern Connecticut State. and they'll be forced to punt.
That was one of the things we wanted to see, who was going to emerge as a leader of that defensive unit. And looked like Dwayne Grantham has certainly put his name in the hat to take that job.
Well, the Rams are replacing pretty much all their linebackers, and we've seen good stuff from Dwayne Grantham, Kevin Kauser. So there is definitely some excitement coming from the Shepherd defense here in game one, along with Devin Lynch has done a nice job. He's a returner, but kind of moving down the linebacker from more of a DB role. This is a high kick that's going to bounce and head out of bounds. Dorsey will let it go, and Shepherd will take over from the 29-yard line. 34-0 Rams on top. When do we start to see that second unit for the Shepherd offense will be interesting. Still a lot of time to go in this third quarter, and it is game one. You want to get those guys those reps, but also you don't want to risk injury in a game that looks like is in hand, at least for the Rams. I mean, they've been really dominant. I think maybe one or two more drives, Travis, and then we could see Etchison and some of those second stringers. As Bajent comes back out to start this drive, 1st and 10 from the 29. Pistol formation for the Rams. Southern Connecticut State kind of stacked up at the line of scrimmage, and Bajent will hand it off to Brown, and Brown doesn't find much room. Not something you see Ronnie Brown usually when he's dancing in the backfield, he'll find a hole, but there he never really went forward. Didn't find much room, actually lost a yard on the play, back to the 28, so 2nd down and 11.
And it looks like the Owls defensive front made some adjustments, not trying to get buried down inside and give him the edge, more playing a kind of a contain, keep him inside. You know they're stout in the middle, so if you can keep that speed contained in the middle, you'll take that result.
Bajent sends Beach in motion. They'll flip it to him again. Beach across the 30. There's Andre that time coming up, that was Dominic. Thought the 3 was a 2, but Dominic came up and made that play on the outside. We've called his name quite a bit. Him, Nunez returning there at the inside linebacker positions, along with DiGello on the outside. Richard Williams, the only newcomer in that linebacking core, but it's a 3rd down and 7 for the Shepherd Rams on their own 32. Agent looks to the sideline with 2 receivers to the far side, and Beach and Kenny Edlin. And Bajent looking to throw, fires to Edlin. He leaps up, makes a nice catch, a contested catch short of the 1st down marker. There's Richard Williams coming up and making the play, along with Ansell, in there as well. And on 4th down and 3, the Rams will be forced to punt. But Kenny Edlin, he's had a few drops, so good to see him make a nice contested catch, even though it was short of the 1st down marker, and only the 2nd punt of the day for the Rams and Ryan Barrick. Two returners back deep for Southern Connecticut State. It's Popolo along with Moody. And Popolo will field it at around the 15-yard line, get across the 20 to about the 22 before being forced out of bounds. So it kind of made a lot out of nothing there to Popolo. And it'll be 1st down and 10 for the Owls. Let's see here, Travis, if Southern Connecticut State can get something going on this drive. As we continue to see good things from this young Shepherd defense. And it looks like we might have a few subs there on the D line. I believe that's Journey Dunbar now playing defensive tackle. I don't see Kyle Smith or Malik Holloway out there at the defensive ends. So Shepherd trying to get some new guys into the ball game with 8:27 to go in this 3rd quarter and a 34-0 lead for the Rams. Reale takes the snap, and they will give it a big hit.
Ooh.
Oh, my goodness, but that is not a good situation, as that looked like helmet-to-helmet contact potentially there on the lighter. Keyshawn Haley coming up and making that play. He was able to get to the sideline of his own power, but the way he collided did not look good there initially.
A big hit on a stocky running back, low center of gravity, and he kind of took the brunt of it. He came up, delivered a big hit, but you absorbed some of that impact yourself.
Here's Wilson running up the middle. He'll scamper forward, nearly broke through, a little bit frustrated with himself. It's going to be 3rd and 1 for Southern Connecticut State from the 31-yard line. Now under 8 minutes to go in this third quarter. Shepherd cruising here on the road in New Haven, Connecticut. 34-0 our score. We approach 7:30 to go in the third quarter, and we see Reale back out there, and I wonder, too, if Southern Connecticut State was kind of looking at it as he's our young guy, our guy for the future. Might as well throw him out there in this game and get that experience. 3rd down, Wilson running up the middle, dives for the first down, and we'll get there. Kevin Kauser coming up and making the tackle.
And plus, I mean, it's the beginning of the season for the Owls as well, so you want to try to get something positive that you can build on going into next week's game. You knew you were coming up against a tough opponent today. Things haven't gone your way, but if you can get some type of positivity, establish some type of rhythm here early on in the game, maybe you get some confidence that can springboard you into the rest of your season.
Here's a deep ball down the far sideline. It's caught inside the 30-yard line. Goes Southern Connecticut State. Make a catch on that play for the Owls.
Looks like the Owls are wanting to go tempo, going to go hurry up to the line.
Souls with the big reception.
That was a good ball from the young quarterback. I mean, that was all arm strength. He didn't really step into that one at all, and he threw it on a rope.
So Reale completes the Souls down the far sideline. Now looks to throw again. Here's a screen pass complete underneath. Down inside the 20-yard line. Moves the ball for Southern Connecticut State. So, I mean, that's a bright spot. The Owls are in the red zone. At the very least, they keep competing at this point.
Yeah, you took a thumping in the first half. Okay, what's done is done, but you go out with the mentality, let's win the second half. Let's build on this. Let's try to build something that we can use going forward in the season, try to establish some type of confidence and rhythm on the offensive side of the ball.
2nd and 3 from the 18. Reale looks to throw again. Looks over for Tim O'Shea, and that pass is broken up and incomplete. Would have been behind him anyway, so good hit, though, on the back end for the Rams. Might have been the true freshman Omar Terry breaking that up. 5:52 to go in this third quarter. 34-0 Shepherd on top. Southern Connecticut State has it 3rd down and 4 from the 19-yard line of the Rams. Reale calling things out at the line of scrimmage. Now looks to throw. Fires underneath, complete to Wilson. Wilson inside the 10. Wilson has blockers in front. He's into the end zone. Touchdown, Owls. 34-6 now our score with 5:43 to go in this third quarter. As Wilson scores on the pass from Reale. And the Owls get back into it, Travis. Well, not back into it completely, but get on the board.
Yeah, get something going positive on offense. And what they did to do that, they changed up the tempo. They went no huddle, up to the line, kept that defensive unit on there, and just kept the pressure on. And sometimes that's what you got to do to try to change up the momentum, to attack the defense in a different way, and maybe you can catch them in some bad looks. And that time, Wilson, not known for his hands, but did a good job leaking out of the backfield and then banging it across the goal line for their first touchdown of the season for Southern Connecticut.
Golick's extra point is up and good. It's Shepherd 34, Southern Connecticut State 7. 5:43 to go in this third quarter. We'll be back in 1 minute after this.
You've been in an accident. Why won't the insurance company pay? Because they're trying to save money at your expense. Call Mansion Ferretti for your free consultation. We have the experience to deal with the insurance company and get you the compensation you deserve. Mansion Ferretti, when you need justice.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%, Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
We welcome you back to Southern Connecticut State University. Shepherd 34, Southern Connecticut State 7. As the Owls get on the board, they'll kick it away. Golick will kick it deep to the Rams. 4A and Dorsey back deep for Shepherd as it goes out of bounds. That will be good field position for the Rams. And we want to shout out John Alderton, our cameraman, his mother's 94th birthday for Mrs. Alderton. So happy birthday to her. Shouting her out here on TV 10. But 34-7, Shepherd on top. And the Rams are on the field. Bagent will remain in at quarterback for Shepherd.
It's going to have to be an extreme situation to get him out of the game. He's the type of guy that's not going to be easy conversation to get the ball out of his hands. Even if you're up big, he's going to want to stay in there every second of every play.
Yeah, we might see more of the guy in the backfield, Avon Holly, as this game continues. But Tyson Bagent's going to be the guy that wants to take the snaps as Southern Connecticut State's showing blitz on 1st and 10 from the 35, and Bagent looking to throw. Looking deep. Or underneath, to Marlon Cook, who makes the catch, picks up the first down and more, and already the Rams are in Owl territory.
I tell you what, the guy that made that play was Avon Holly. Awesome block in the backfield. You mentioned that blitz coming in hard off the edge, and he had an absolute kill shot that time on Bagent, but Holly first went up into the inside in the B gap looking for a pass block. Wasn't anything there. He's continued to look for work, able to peel back and just barely knock that defender off his path, giving Bagent just enough time to deliver that completion.
Cook now with 122 yards receiving. Pass complete there to Ryan Beach. He gets a nice block from Edlin. Beach has a first down and more, but he steps out of bounds. Actually right at the marker. Still will be a first down, though, to the 35-yard line. And Ryan Beach starting to feel it a little bit on the field.
Once he gets rolling, man, his feet just move so fast. Kind of reminds me of Darren Sproles when he would get his motor running a little bit.
Well, they are the same height at 5'6".
Yeah.
You know, will be a first down as a little bit of confusion of where exactly Beach went out of bounds, but it is right at that 35-yard line, so it's 1st and 10 for the Rams again. Bagent with 3 receivers to his far side. He'll give to Avon Holly this time, who runs hard up the middle before colliding the interior of that defensive line for Southern Connecticut State. First down, or 2nd and 7 now after a 3-yard pickup. .410 to go in this third quarter. Rams driving once again to the 32 of Southern Connecticut State. Bagent puffs once. He wants the deep ball down the middle of the field for Marlon Cook, and it's caught. Touchdown, Shepherd. The second touchdown reception of the day for Cook. And now over 150 yards receiving for the junior wide receiver. And I think Coach McCook and all the hype Marlon Cook has received appears pretty accurate in his first game, Travis.
An excellent play call by Rams offensive coordinator Tyler Haynes. Doing that pump fake to that quick screen. The Rams have been establishing that all day. And when that defense overreacts the way they've been doing so far today, they play it well. You add that little pump fake action in, and then that inside wide receiver is able to slip downfield, and Tyson Bagent is able to put the ball right on the money for another Rams touchdown.
Haney's extra point is up and good, and we got
running
a
into the
flag
kicker
on the play as well as it will be running into the kicker. Tyson Bagent now has 352 passing yards. There's still 3:57 to go in the third quarter. The Rams lead at 41-7. We'll take a 60-second break as this penalty is declined. This is Shepherd Rams football on TV 10.
My kids. You know I want the best for you, don't you? We need to have a conversation.
End-of-life planning is no one's favorite discussion, but the relief of having everything in place when the hour of need arrives is a gift. Give it to your family. Plan ahead with us.
Brown Funeral Homes, a leading provider of cremations, invites you to explore the many flexible options of cremation. From environmental considerations to the benefit of greatly reduced cost, it may be the perfect answer for your family. Online at brownfuneralhomeswv.com. Brown Funeral Homes, here for you.
When will I be able to retire? How do I make the most of the money I have? How do I leave a lasting legacy to my loved ones? I'm Philip McCoy, financial advisor with the Mirius Group, a private wealth advisory practice of Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated. Call us today at 304-263-4343 to help you make the most of your financial future. Our office is located at 1270 Winchester Avenue, Martinsburg, West Virginia.
Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated, member FINRA and SIPC.
We welcome you back to New Haven, Connecticut. Shepherd 41, Southern Connecticut State 7. 3:57 to go in this third quarter of play. It's been another fantastic performance from the Harlan Hill Trophy winner, Tyson Bagent. 352 yards, and like I said just a moment ago, there's still a little bit under 4 minutes to play in this third quarter. Here's another short kick. Fair caught at around the 27-yard line, 28-yard line. So that's where Southern Connecticut State will take over. And, I mean, the Rams are going to do that throughout because, well, Southern Connecticut State just kept returning kickoffs past the 40-yard line in that first half. So something Shepherd will have to work on because you don't want to give some of these really good teams the Rams are going to play in the PSAC, you know, above the 25-yard line possession.
Because you can tell the Owls definitely picked up on something because they were able to get some really good returns early on. And credit to that Shepherd coaching staff. They're managing this game very well. It's like, look, that's the only chance that you have to get a spark going. We're going to take that away from you. Kind of like a boa constrictor. Every little bit that you give in, they're going to take that away.
There's a run play to the outside, and again, the Rams fly to the football, make the play there. Not a lot of room for Deontay Wilson, who heading into this game, you know, you thought might have a pretty big day. It looks like a Ram is hurt on the field, but quickly gets up and on his own power.
I mean, because you look at Wilson, I mean, first, like, very good size for a running back, 5'10", 195 pounds. The dude is like a bowling ball out there. And he's averaging 5.2 yards a carry, coming off of a good season last year. Didn't play
as a freshman.
Yeah, as a freshman, didn't play many games. So he showed you like that, had a full off season to get under his belt and come into this year, but it was just that Rams defense basically just took him out of the game the way the offense was able to score so many points.
2nd and 11 after the 1-yard loss. Reale throws. Looks like we have a holding on the play, as the pass was complete here to the outside, but it will not stand. Josh Neves making the play, or making the catch.
And if I were a betting man, I think the guilty party is number 79, Donovan Harris. He got every cent of his money's worth out of that holding penalty.
Well, he's a grad student. Only has so many holding penalties he can get, so might as well earn one.
Yeah, I mean, that was a chokehold that Ted DiBiase would have been proud of.
Well, we heard the Rated R Superstar Edge, his theme song in the pregame warm-ups, so I'm sure Southern Connecticut State will like that reference there, Travis. 2nd down and 21 with 3:10 to go here in this third quarter and a running clock. 41-7 Shepherd on top. Looked like we got holding again there on the outside, but no call this time as Reale is forced out of bounds on that far side. Got back to the line of scrimmage, so it's going to be 3rd and 21 for Southern Connecticut State.
And this is one of the things where this defense is just able to show off some of their depth. Like we mentioned, a lot of new faces out there, but this Rams organization, this team, they're able to recruit the kind of guys that they want. They're very successful at identifying those body types, those style of play, and bringing it in to fit their system.
Reale under pressure again. He'll throw back across the middle of the field. That's a dangerous pass.
Can't do that.
Falls incomplete. I believe Keyshawn Haley was there on coverage. Flag again on the play.
I tell you what,
collision at midfield as well.
The true defender on that play was wide receiver Javon Jones. Did a good job of going up and batting the ball away. I understand Reale.
There.
Yeah, Reale trying to make a play for his teammates, but just some things you can't do as a quarterback, and that's rolling out to one side and throwing the ball back across.
Might work in Madden, but not working in real life. It's pretty impressive he could even do that. I mean, that's
because he's rolling to his offhand side. That's a lot of torque that he has to get on his body to throw back across. But Javon Jones, I'll tell you what, that's a heady play by the wide receiver, the grad student, 6 foot, 200 pounds from Syracuse, New York, able to come back and save his quarterback's stat line a little bit by not letting him get an interception on that play.
So the Rams are back to return the point. McDowell was also involved in that play for Shepherd. He got banged up on the play, I believe. So 2:18 to go here in this third quarter. Rams coming back out on the field offensively, Travis, with a 41-7 lead. Honestly, I'm pretty surprised how well this Rams defense has played with so many young guys. I mean, Southern Connecticut State, we know their situation at quarterback isn't the best right now. But still, I mean, you have a ton of freshmen, sophomores, few juniors out there, but not a whole lot of veterans, and they've came to play as Bajent will hand it off to Ronnie Brown. Brown will lower the shoulder, get out to about midfield, about a 5-yard pickup. Make it 2nd down and 5 as we approach 2 minutes to go in this third quarter.
Well, that's one of the benefits of being young. You don't know that you're not supposed to be experienced or go out there and be comfortable and make plays. So they're going out there, and what you tell young men from the time they first step out on the football field, you go out there to play and have fun, and that certainly seems to be what that defense has been doing today, out there flying around, making plays, and having fun. Certainly helps when you got a ton of points on the board, too.
They'll give them 6 on that carry, so 2nd and 4 now. As here's another run up the middle, breaking tackles. That might be Blake Hartman running the football, I believe, for Shepherd. No, it is Ronnie Brown. Kind of hard to tell in these gray uniforms with the dark colors.
Yeah, Shepherd's wanting to put something on tape. So far, they've run that kind of a zone read option where the running back is running that dive. It looks like the quarterback has the option to either let him have it or pull it himself. So the Rams, they're thinking ahead right now by showing this late in the game. They know they've got it in control. One, they want to work out the kinks. They want to put it on tape to put it in other teams' minds that this is something that you're going to have to prepare for when you come to play the Shepherd Rams.
1st down and 10 from the 17. Under a minute to go in this third quarter. 41-7 Shepherd. Bajent in the shotgun. Brown is back to his right. Bajent looking for a fade route. Incomplete. Just over the head of Edlin. Kenny Edlin, the freshman wide receiver. And you look at him, a 6'2 body for the Rams. We've seen great things from Marlon Cook today. Edlin, another one of those guys trying to get that chemistry with Tyson Bajent. Alfonso Foray is a guy that's trying to do that. He almost had a touchdown catch in that first half. Ryan Beach, Marlon Cook, they're returners. While Cook didn't get much playing time a season ago, he has definitely shown out here tonight. Max Fisher in the game here for a 2nd down and 10 from the 17. And they'll look to throw again, this time complete underneath. That's Ryan Beach. Beach sheds off one tackler, and he'll walk in for another touchdown. It's Shepherd 47, Southern Connecticut State 7. 39 seconds to go in the third quarter. And once Ryan Beach got off of one guy, it's an easy 6 points for Shepherd and another touchdown.
And on that play, Shepherd just beat him with formation. They have Beach in the slot. Ansel is playing over top of Beach, but he's playing about 12 yards off. You give somebody that fast, that much space, and you do the quick out, you notice that look between Beach and Bajent at the beginning of the play. They kind of looked at each other as like, give me the ball right away. And that's what Bajent did. You get him the ball in space like that, and that's a tough. Ansel's been coming up making tremendous plays in the alley all game long, but that's a tall order for anybody to come up and try to tackle Beach in the alley like that.
Extra point from Jacob Haney is straight through. It's Shepherd 48, Southern Connecticut State 7. We got 39 seconds to go in this third quarter. We're going to be back at 60. This is Shepherd football on TV 10.
Erie Insurance says here's to the grown-ups who move, mortgage, mow, and still bust a move. But does your home insurance still fit? Erie helps you protect the home you've grown into, all at fair prices that are often less than the other guys. So how do you find the right coverage? Magic. Nope. Local independent agents who get to know you like this.
Your local Erie agent in Martinsburg is Smallwood & Small Insurance. Get a quote at smallwoodandsmall.com.
Erie Insurance.
Are you considering selling your home and don't know where to start? Then call Chris Ross and the Milestone Real Estate Group at Keller Williams. A Martinsburg High School graduate, Chris knows the local market, and he's proven it as #1 real estate team in West Virginia in 2019. Phone Milestone Real Estate Group at Keller Williams at 304-579-7349 or go to callchrisross.com. Let's celebrate your real estate milestone together.
Shepherd 48, Southern Connecticut State 7, 39 seconds to go in this third quarter as we welcome you back to New Haven, Connecticut on the campus of Southern Connecticut State University. Beautiful night for college football. September 1st season opener. The first D2 teams on the field as running side to side there and then eventually falling down for Southern Connecticut State was the return man, Tylon Papalo. As didn't really find anything out of that play. Actually, correction, that was Alexandre on the return, number 2.
He's just had a tough day all around. He's had to try to cover Big Brian Walker, the tight end, a couple of times, one-on-one. He's had tough assignments guarding wide receivers out there, and on that play, just trying to make a play on special teams, and the turf monster jumps up and grabs him.
30 seconds to go in this third quarter. And they will throw a quick screen out to the far side. Caught. Gain about 4 on the play. It'll be second down and 6 for Southern Connecticut State, who built some momentum a couple of drives ago, got into the end zone. And Travis, the Rams continue to dominate this one as we roll off the final few seconds of this third quarter. And Southern Connecticut State will not take a play, so that will do it for the third. It's Shepherd 48, Southern Connecticut State 7. We are back in 60 seconds at the fourth quarter after this. This is Shepherd University Rams football on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube.
Hagerstown Ford continues to be your leader in car sales up and down the I-81 corridor. We will beat any and all competitors' prices, and we've made buying a new car easier than ever with one-day delivery better than Amazon and a return policy better than Walmart. Your satisfaction is our guarantee. If you don't like it, simply return it and we'll come pick it up. No questions asked. Why would you shop anywhere else? At Hagerstown Ford, we take great pride in our community and supporting our local student athletes. That's why Hagerstown Ford is the official car dealership of Shepherd Rams quarterback Tyson Bagent. Our remote buying process has made new car shopping so easy, you'll never even set foot in a dealership. Simply go to HagerstownFord.com and click on the car you want to buy it, or use the Axle Auto app. It's that easy. You can order your new car on any device. Go to HagerstownFord.com and get your new car signed, sealed, and delivered from Hagerstown Ford.
We welcome you back to Southern Connecticut State University here on 2nd and 5. Pass falls incomplete from Reale. Kevin Kauser in coverage on the play for Shepherd. They'll bring up a 3rd and 5 as this fourth quarter begins. Between the Rams and the Owls, Nick Verzolini, happy to have you with us alongside me. Travis Smith, shout out to our crew. Donald Kinney on camera, Spencer Dupuy, our on-site producer, and Dylan Bishop down on the sideline, also running a camera for us. Had a technical difficulty in the first half, but the guys worked through it, and so far it's been smooth sailing for the most part as Shea makes a catch here on the near sideline, and he'll pick up the first down for the Owls.
O'Shea, just a savvy veteran tight end, able to do a good job making those reads, getting to the soft space in the zone, showing the quarterback his numbers, and that's a young quarterback's best friend is having a veteran tight end that he can rely on.
1st and 10 for the 41. Reale under pressure. He's going to throw down the near sideline for Popolo. Did he get a foot in? He did. That's a catch. And another first down for the Owls. Moving the ball to the 31-yard line. So Southern Connecticut State Starting to pick some things up with Reale and the deep balls. A Ram is down on the field around the 32-yard line. Hard to tell who that is. It might be Malik Holloway. Looks like number 9 there. Kyle Smith helping him off. I believe that will be Holloway. So, not what you want to see there, Travis. And you have to kind of question why Holloway's in the game at this point. I mean, I know it's week 1, so you want to get him to work, and that is Malik Holloway. It's a good shot from our cameraman, Donald Kinney, to get that for us. So
But I got to agree with you because you've had him out of the game for a while now.
Yeah.
The temperature's starting to get a little bit cooler, so he's cooled down. It's been a warm day. He starts cramping up. Doesn't seem to be a little bit too much risk just to get a guy some work, especially a guy that you know is going to bring it
you got a sack
week in and
already.
week out. Yeah,
So
he's going to bring it day in and day
He's
out.
contributed in the stat sheet as the Rams chase after him here. Here's a shovel out of bounds and incomplete. There were a few of those young guys, Muley and now another player down and cramping or potentially something
That's what
worse
he's grabbing
on the
his
far
toe.
side. That looks like Kyle Smith. So, I mean,
Exactly.
that's
Yet
your two
again.
starting
Yeah.
defensive ends
Yeah.
on back-to-back plays get hurt.
And again, like they've been out for basically the entire third quarter. It's starting to get cooler outside. They're going to be standing on the sideline. Naturally, they're going to start cramping up.
They are. Looks like it might just be a cramp here as they stretch him out. But
yeah, you
there
can see
was
that
a scream from Kyle Smith that we could hear all the way up here.
Hey, when that Charlie horse hits you right, you're going to hit a couple octaves out there on the field.
It's possible, Travis, that you or I could potentially suffer that in the middle of the night tonight.
It could happen. It could happen.
We've been a little bit
I felt the twinge in my hammy in the second quarter.
We've been standing here all game, so
I think I'm going to need more than 2 guys to help me off, though.
Yeah. When that hits, it's not fun.
Yeah, they shouldn't be out. I mean, they were out for an extended period of time. It's starting to get cooler. It's been a hot day. That's just a recipe for cramps.
Yeah, Kyle jogs off, though, so that's a good sign.
Yeah. Put them on the side and give them a jar of pickle juice. They've done what they needed to do for the night.
Does that work?
Apparently, I don't know.
I was just wondering if you ever tried that.
I'm not that kind of athlete or cramping.
Maybe in your prime, Travis. Maybe in your prime, man.
Even in my prime, I wasn't that finely tuned of an athlete where cramping was an issue.
Fair enough. Here's a little trickery. Southern Connecticut State might have a play here inside the 20 to the 10 and into the, just about a yard short of the end zone. Making the play there.
Stepped out at about the 6.
Is Javon Jones. At about the 6-yard line, but you like that.
Yeah, you do, like out of the hours. You want to get something going. You want something positive that you can build on. And they obviously have, plenty of tricks up their sleeve. They had a big play with the wheel route that they ran earlier. On that one, they run that reverse. They have skill. They have speed out wide with their wide receivers, so why not go out there, test things out? If you practice it, why not use it in a game?
48-7, 13-19 to go. Here's a pass to the near side. Popolo can't make the catch.
Popolo's had his struggles today. You can tell that they've really tried to incorporate him into the offense, and just the timing has not been quite right.
He is their number 1 guy returning in that receiving core for Southern Connecticut State. Breaking on the football, Terrell Lindsay, the sophomore defensive back from Clinton, Maryland. 2nd down and 8. From the 8. 2nd and goal, I should say, as Reale steps up. Under pressure, he is sacked. Coming up and making the play for the Rams is Kyle Smith. He's back in the ball game, and he picks up his 2nd sack of the night.
Somebody gave that man some pickle juice over there.
Yeah, must have been a shot of pickle juice. It must work very quickly as well as Smith makes that sack. Reale, though, slow to get up for Southern Connecticut State, so hopefully he is okay. So you don't want any injuries at this point. I mean, you never want injuries, but obviously in this kind of ball game, 48-7, and we know Southern Connecticut State's already down a quarterback.
And lost a couple offensive linemen early on.
Yeah, so it's been a rough evening for them, and even it looks like it might have been somewhat of a rough offseason. See about 3 or 4 guys with crutches on the sidelines, so this Owls football team does not want to get beat up, but Reale was able to get off, so looks like he was all right.
And if you want to look at it glass half full, I mean, injuries are a part of the game. And if you want to have those injuries, it's probably better to have them early on in the season, where hopefully you can start getting some of those guys back as the season wears on, and you have your best football team out there on the field towards the end of the season.
A cold Joe Bernard checks back in with 12:40 to go. And Bernard will take the snap under some pressure, throws it underneath, complete. Down to the 10-yard line goes Wilson. And we'll see here what the Owls elect to do. You might as well go for it. Down 48-7 with 12:25 and rolling here to go in this ball game. And that is what Bernard and the offense will do as the Owls single things in from the sideline. 48-7, Shepherd leading here on a beautiful night in New Haven, Connecticut. And really turned out to be a good time to be outside for a broadcast, Travis, as we get 12 minutes to go here. Bernard takes the snap under some pressure. Throws complete underneath, caught. Going to be short of the end zone, though, and there is no first down available there for Southern Connecticut State's Ryan Souls. So it's a turnover on downs, and the Rams will take over. We'll see how Shepherd goes offensively.
And Souls has been quiet so far tonight. Popolo, Souls, the names that we were expecting to play a large part in tonight's game. And when you lose your starting quarterback, you know that's going to kind of throw some things off, and you hope that those veteran wide receivers will kind of be able to rally around the young quarterback, but that has not been the case tonight. And you have to credit that Rams defense. They have done a good job of taking the Owls out of what they want to do on offense. They wanted to pound Wilson in between the tackles, but falling behind early on in the game, really not able to establish that foothold as far as running the ball.
Here's a run play for the Rams. It doesn't go too far out of their own end zone. Our fourth quarter is presented on TV 10 by Smallwood and Small Insurance in Martinsburg, your total insurance solution at 121 Administrative Drive. Call 304-263-3361. As we approach 11:22 to go in the fourth quarter and rolling, 48-7, Shepherd on top, backed up on their own 3-yard line. Bagent still in the game in the shotgun. They'll look to throw over the middle. Complete for a first down is Ryan Beach making the catch for Shepherd. He bounced off a defender, and now Beach a little slow to get up, but just needs some help from a teammate. A little bit surprised to see the Rams throwing the ball, but in that situation it makes sense to get them out of their own end zone at the very least. You don't want to give up a safety.
And again, we look like we're going to see that dive option look that the Rams used that last drive. They're just trying to get something on tape. They're trying to work out the kinks. This is something that we can see more and more often as the season wears on.
And now it appears we got a timeout, I believe, taken by
the play clock was
the Rams. So with 10:32 to go in this fourth quarter, let's take a 30-second break, and when we return, we'll have more Shepherd football on TV 10.
After putting a beat down on the Salem Spartans, the Martinsburg Bulldogs are hungry for more.
Snap to Clement. He'll keep it himself. Go up the middle. Break a few tackles. He's at the 50. To the outside. 35. 20. 10. 5. Touchdown, Murphy Clement.
This week, standing in the way of Martinsburg's state title defense is the Musselman Applemen. Tune in at 6 p.m. this Friday night for the game right here on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
Welcome you back here to Southern Connecticut State University. First down and 10 for the Rams from the 18-yard line. Our fourth quarter also brought to you by Hagerstown Ford, revolutionizing the car buying experience. Buy your next vehicle online. They'll deliver it to you, and if you don't like it, they'll take it back. It's Hagerstown Ford, our other fourth quarter sponsor. Here's a run with Ronnie Brown across the 20 to the, or down to the 20, up to the 25-yard line for Brown. So the Rams keeping the starters in throughout this fourth quarter. It's game one of the season, and it's a young team. Avon Holly in the backfield, though, for Shepherd. So to that extent, you kind of understand it, but also it is just game one. 48-7, 9:55 to go. Shepherd on top. They'll fake it to Holly. Now throw it complete on the far side. That is Ryan Beach again. Beach continues to rack up the receptions. It's a first down for Shepherd as they'll move it to the 31-yard line.
Now you're seeing that Rams defense starting to platoon guys in there. That starting defensive unit getting worn down. They've been out on the field a very long time tonight, and they're looking maybe to sub some guys in and try to develop some depth and protect their starters from injury.
Holly remains the back here on first down and 10. They'll give it to Avon Holly. He'll shed off one tackler, get close to the first down sticks before being brought down. Avon Holly, this is his quarter where he ate last year, and we saw a lot of good things out of him and how he's earned a bigger role with the team this year. Joe DeGello making the tackle for Southern Connecticut State, about a yard short of the first down marker. Holly remains the back here on second down and 1. I'll tell you what, that Southern Connecticut State drum line continuing to go hard throughout this ball game. 8:45 to go, second and 1. Bajent will give it to Holly again. He has the first down as he lowers his shoulder at the sticks. And the Rams will move the chains again.
And Holly kind of has a unique running style. You kind of expect him to be that banger in between the tackles, 6'1", 212 pounds. But I tell you what, he has a smoothness to his game. With that time when you ran him off tackle, he shows that he can also bring a big load when he's able to get his feet underneath of him and move those sticks.
Now it looks like the Lehigh transfer and Musselman grad Blake Hartman is in the backfield for the Rams on first and 10 from their own 43-yard line. And Hartman will get the carry. He doesn't find much room back to the line of scrimmage, maybe a yard on the play. As the Owls come up to the football making the play.
Rams trying to run that trap inside. Kind of hard to do with the Owls. They have a lot of beef in the middle of that line, and they're not moving. They're really not getting up the field. They're good at pushing the pocket, but they're not really good at getting penetration. So if you do that trap, there's really nobody there for that trap guy to get, and there's just going to be a big old traffic jam there in the middle.
We'll see as the season goes on if we see more of Hartman and Holly, because they can give some different things. I mean, Ronnie Brown has proven he can do a lot of things tonight, as Bajent has all day to throw. He'll throw it out away, intended for Edlin, but
good
really
decision.
just intended to not take a sack or throw an interception, as nobody appeared to be open down the field. So third down and 10 for Shepherd from their own 43. 7:15 to go in this fourth quarter.
Bajent again showing his veteran savvy. There was nothing there. The way the game is now, there's no reason to force it downfield or risk a turnover or somebody getting hurt, so just throw the ball out of bounds, live to fight another day.
Third and 10 from the 43. Bajent wants to throw again. He'll throw a screen out to Hartman. Hartman sheds off one tackler, gains about a yard or two, but that will be well shy of the first down marker. It will be about 4th and 8, and Shepherd will punt from their own 45.
And that was a play we saw to Ronnie Brown a lot last year, that swing pass. They use it kind of like a screen because the linemen are getting downfield. And they can get downfield and get on those blocks because the running back is still behind the line of scrimmage. You get him out on the edge running full tilt. He catches that ball in stride, and that's just a tough play to stop on the edge. That's just a lot of speed coming downhill at you.
So 6:35 to go down the fourth quarter. Shepherd with a 41-point lead over Southern Connecticut State. Ryan Barrick will kick it away. It's a high end-over-end kick. Fair catch called for at the 21-yard line. That's where the Owls will take back over. And Travis seen some positive things from Southern Connecticut State, I think, offensively in the second half. While they only have 7 points to show for it, they got into the red zone a few times. I think Reale really settled in. He stood in there. He got hit quite a bit from Kyle Smith, Malik Holloway off the edge, but
they missed that deep pass over the middle to Popolo. They had some opportunities to make some big plays, and just when you're going against a team like Shepherd, like, you can't afford to leave points on the field. But, I mean, you look at their special teams, you look at their defense, they have pieces. This is a good football team. They have pieces to have a successful season moving forward.
So it's Bernard back in at quarterback, as Reale was banged up, and they'll run the ball to the near side. That is stacked up at the line of scrimmage from the Rams defense, getting a lot of different guys into the ball game.
Sean Martin was checked back in the game at running back. A reason to get Wilson any more hits. He's done what he's going to do so far today, but Martin has stepped in and provided a spark here and there. He's certainly a change of pace from Wilson.
We'll see what Southern Connecticut State can build as Bernard looking to throw. Completes. The 2 Rams again come in and make that play. Looks like the freshman McCoy coming up and making the tackle. It's Souls again with a catch. He's been pretty productive today for Southern Connecticut State when they've gone to him. I'm sorry, Omar Terry coming up and making that play. Terry, an exciting freshman from the Baltimore area. Bernard takes the snap. Looking to throw. Complete for another first down.
Souls again with another catch. Takes a hard hit on the play.
A hit coming from another freshman, Jaleel Singleton, a guy that Coach McCook highlighted as he said, they're going to have a lot of young guys in the secondary this year that step up and make some plays. He thinks Singleton and Terry could be those guys, along with a few others, but it's a young defense, and the defense has played pretty well. And in some ways, Travis, while the defense was solid last year, made plays when they needed to, it wasn't the strength of this football team, as this one is incomplete. And maybe some fresh blood on the defense could be a new era for Shepherd defensively. And it could maybe help them actually improve, while typically you would think they would go down in production. This is just the first game of the season against a football team that didn't have its starting quarterback. But still, I think there are a lot of positives we've seen from this defense today.
Absolutely. And that defense for the past couple of years for Shepherd, although they've had individual talent, has kind of been of an anomaly. They had talented individual pieces, but they still gave up a lot of points.
Yeah.
And it was something, I mean, the offense scores quickly, so they're back out there a lot of times, but it was odd to see that, they have tremendous individual pieces, but as a unit, they weren't a stingy unit as far as like giving up points.
And we really won't know until week 3 when Shepherd plays Cal, Pennsylvania, a ranked team, to see how good this defense is. I mean, they're obviously focused on Edinburgh next week, but Edinburgh's been a struggling program over the years. I'm not certain what they'll be like this year, but at least based on what we know on the past, it could be kind of some good tune-up games before this defense really gets a big challenge, and where we've seen them give up a lot of points, because it's another first down for the Owls. But we've seen them dominate, the Millersvilles, some of the teams that have had down years in the PSAC, but when it comes to the big-time programs, that's where Shepherd's got into the shootouts, and we'll see if the defense can maybe take that next step this year. I think it'll be interesting to see with a lot of young players. But first down and 10 for the Rams, under 4 minutes to go in this first down and 10, I should say, for the Owls. Under 4 minutes to play in this fourth quarter. 48-7, Shepherd on top. Bernard looks deep down the near sideline. Souls the intended receiver again. Might have got away with pass interference, but it did look like both guys were battling there between Christian Lassane, the redshirt sophomore from Columbia, Maryland. So, again, you're seeing these young guys in the secondary that could play a role for this team, because Shepherd had some injuries in the secondary last year as well, and don't really know exactly their corner situation. I mean, they have Howard and they have Baden returning. But besides that, there are some question marks. Here's a deep ball down the middle of the field, and it's going to go incomplete.
And again, Holloway back out on the field. Kyle Smith back out on the field. And this is where they do their damage when they have teams in those predictable passing situations because they're so good at turning that edge, blitzing off the edge. And like we mentioned, the Owls lost a couple of their linemen early on in the game.
Yeah.
So they are vulnerable on the edge, but still, with the way the game is, I'm like, would you risk those valuable pieces, one of the few veteran pieces that you have on that defensive side of the ball?
It is interesting to see that third down here. The Rams are coming. Holloway brings the pressure. Pass falls incomplete. Especially because the subs are at every other level. It's backups in the game. Pretty much. Kevin Cowser's still in the game. But fourth down here, Kyle Smith and Malik Holloway still on the field. The D-line, though, is all the starters. Muley's in there along with Bendarski, so that's interesting to see. I don't know if maybe there was just something they wanted to get out of that unit that they had been getting in practice or something, but either way, fourth down and 10. Here's the punt. It's a low kick. We'll bounce it around the 21-yard line and roll out of bounds. It's a little bit of a tussle there that we typically see here late in ball games when the game is out of control. Luckily, though, both players going to the sideline and kind of letting cooler heads prevail. With a 48-7 score, 3:19 to go in this ball game, the Rams cruising to victory here over the Southern Connecticut State Owls here in New Haven, Connecticut. And I believe that's Edgerton now in the game. So Bajan is out. Hartman is the running back. And here's a guy that has been the backup now for a few years. They like Edgerton a lot as they'll give it to Blake Hartman. And he'll run forward across the 25 down to the 20 or up to the 26-yard line.
You know, Bajan has been, knock on wood, durable during his time at Shepherd. So the backup quarterback duty, you're kind of like the Maytag repairman. You really don't have too much to do during the course of the season. You might be signaling in plays or you might be recording plays on the sideline so the coaches can examine later on, but not too often that you have a chance to come into the game in a critical situation to do something. But you play the game, you want to go out there, show what you can do, and you want to make the most of every opportunity that you do have.
And obviously, this is the last year for Tyson Bajan. As Hardman gets the first down, nice hard run from him. And Edgerton, he's been the backup now for the past couple of seasons, sophomore quarterback. They like him a lot. You know, he's a mobile guy. We've seen him run quite a bit.
And that's what I think that this might be the future of what the Shepherd offense looks like after Bajan leaves, is something where they're going to highlight a mobile quarterback because they're doing this dive option like this. If it looks familiar, probably because you've seen it on Sundays, very similar to what the Ravens do with Lamar Jackson, how they have that fullback up in the line, that sniffer back. He kind of comes across, they fake that dive, and the quarterback has that read.
They're going to run it again here. It's Hartman once again on the carry, close to the first down marker.
And as any defensive coordinator will tell you, when you're facing a mobile quarterback, that's enough to keep you up at night. It gives you gray hairs, and you rack up a lot of points going to buy Pepto-Bismol trying to prepare for a mobile quarterback. It's just something that most defenses you're not geared to do because that quarterback is almost like an extra man on the field, so it's very hard to account for a mobile quarterback. So I think this is something like maybe a glimpse of the future of what that Rams offense could look like after Tyson Bajan. Hopefully plays on Sundays.
Yeah, hopefully, as Edgerton takes the high snap, we'll go to Hartman again. And these are some good carries for the young Hartman. Transfer from Lehigh, again, a Musselman grad as well. And, of course, there'll be a competition next year, but next year is so far away, it's early to talk about. But obviously Powell is there. He's another guy that travels with the team. Sammy Roberts, the Jefferson grad, the guy we saw do a lot of good things at the high school level. They'll be in that competition. Potentially Ezra Bajan. I know he has an offer from Shepherd, so we'll see if he ends up here or goes elsewhere, but he could definitely be in the competition potentially next year. But, again, that's a whole year away. I mean, a lot could happen. We could see a transfer. Who knows? But Hartman running hard here up the middle. Again, close to the first down marker. I've liked what I've seen from Blake Hartman so far.
We talk about making the most of your opportunities. You want to see who's competing at this point in the game. Coaches on both sidelines. And when the game's kind of out of hand at this point, you want to still see who's competing, who's playing with good technique, who's playing aggressive, because this is going to be something like as the season wears on and you're thinking who's that next guy I can put in. Hey, that guy stood out late in the game. He was still getting after it, even though the game was pretty much decided. He was still out there going 100 miles an hour. So that's something where that's a chance for you to improve your own stock on your own depth chart.
48-7, our final score, as that Hartman carry was the final play of the ball game. The two teams will shake hands. We'll keep it here as Dylan Bishop attempts to track down Coach McCook after he's done shaking hands. But the Rams are going to go to 1-0 on the year with a 48-7 victory over Southern Connecticut State. Coach Tom Godick and the Southern Connecticut State Owls will fall to 0-1. Again, we wait when Dylan can get Coach McCook, but Travis, just quickly, until Dylan does do that, some quick thoughts on this one. Good win for the Rams, obviously, 48-7.
Absolutely. They come in, they're able to get out with, as we can tell so far, not a lot of injuries. So you're able to go out, do some things on offense. Your defense, most importantly, they had the most question marks surrounding that side of the ball. I think they answered a lot of questions tonight. Against the tough unit, they were a bit dinged up, so you weren't able to face them at full strength. But what they were able to show is that they're able to make plays from sideline to sideline. They're opportunistic as far as getting interceptions and creating big plays. So you have to be happy with what that unit was able to do on that side of the ball. And you know what you have in your Harlan Hill winner and Tyson Bagent. You know he's a guy that's going to be able to spread the ball around. Ronnie Brown, Ryan Beach, as good as advertised. So right now, a good start for this Rams team, but they do have one thing that they can look at, and that's that special teams unit. The Owls gave them some troubles tonight. They made some adjustments to try to limit those big plays, but if you had one thing that you would certainly want to improve, it will be that special teams unit.
All right, looks like Dylan is trying to get Coach McCook here. He's got to be aggressive, though, if he wants to speak with him. He's a busy man, I know that, but there we go. Dylan's getting there.
Get your purchase. Yeah.
We will send it down to Dylan Bishop with the head coach of the Shepherd University Rams, Ernie McCook.
All right, I'm down here on midfield with Coach McCook. Coach, there's a great game on both sides of the ball. You guys scheduled this to be the first game of Division II, not just for you guys alone. What's it mean to get such a big statement win for you guys in Week 1?
I think it's a really great thing to come on the road 6 hours, open on a Thursday night, and come away with a win where we executed in all three phases. And we executed by making the ordinary play extraordinary, just doing the little things right. I saw our team grow. We've got a lot of work ahead of us kind of going into next week when Edinburgh comes to town in Shepherdstown.
A big game here for Tyson Bagent, reigning Harlan Hill Award winner. What's it like to have just that confidence to have such a quarterback that's reliable for you guys?
You know, well, we're blessed to have Tyson. Tyson's a true winner. He makes everybody around him better, and I think that's a credit to him and our program. We all buy it. Everybody's buying in.
How do you build on this into Week 2?
We're going to have a lot of film of a lot of mistakes that we made. We'll make those corrections and come to work on Sunday ready to go and become a better football team.
All right, Coach McCook, thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Nick. We'll try to get Tyson Bagent here in a minute.
Oh, sounds good. Well, thank you, Dylan, for getting Coach McCook, though. I think we have time probably to take a break before Tyson Bagent is it. Well, I'll keep it here just for a little bit, see if Tyson runs down, and then if I don't see him running down, we will take a break. But Coach McCook, I think good stuff from him. You know, he knows that this is just Week 1, and he doesn't want to get overly amped about it, but also he don't want to, I guess, look into it too deeply in any direction as well, and knows that there were some mistakes, even though it was a pretty clean ball game in terms of 48-7, but you get into the film, you can really pick things up on what you might have messed up.
Absolutely, like we mentioned, so many young players, there are bound to be mistakes, and it's an ideal situation for a coach. You go out, you do a lot of positive things, you win the ball game, but you also have plenty of mistakes that you want to clean up. So it's kind of an ideal situation for a coach where it's like, I can encourage them, we can have confidence from the things that we did well, but we also have some room to grow, and you know that you're going to be facing tougher opponents down the road, so that's really what you're setting your mark on. But you can tell, like, Coach McCook just does a good job of just like managing his team's expectations. I know you want to pick up where you left off from last year, but this is a new team. This is a new season. You have to try to establish an identity for this year's team and set a goal for this year's team. Now, they have a goal to make a deep run in the playoffs, but you got to take care of the games as they come at you, and today they were able to take care of business against Southern Connecticut State.
So while we have a little bit of time here, we're going to keep it here until Dylan is able to get Tyson Bajent, but I want to get some thank yous in to some people that helped us with our broadcast location. First and foremost, I want to thank the Southern Connecticut State Sports Information Department, headed up by Ken Sweden. Big thanks to Ken. Got us a pretty good spot here, Travis. We definitely have had our unique locations.
So generous.
Throughout the PSAC. Not to call anybody out necessarily, or anywhere we go on the road, not just the PSAC. We've had some unique locations to broadcast from, and we always appreciate those just having a spot in general, but this was a pretty good spot. I would take this most nights. I mean, we're up here. We not on the 50. That was Ken's big thing. You guys aren't going to be on the 50. And I was like, well, that's all right. We have a view of the whole field, and certainly thank him for giving us a spot, a table, and really that's all we need. I mean, we'll make it work. So we appreciate.
And some nice shades.
Yes, some nice shades as well. So definitely appreciate them taking the time to do that for us. And shout out to our crew as well while we have a little bit of time here. Donald Kinney, Spencer Dupuis, of course you, Travis, and Colin back in the studio along with Dylan Bishop on the sideline. They had the camera mount function, kind of a fluke thing that happened, but the guys got that quickly up, so I want to thank them for getting to that.
It's our first game of the season, too.
Yeah.
We had a lot of positives, and we got things that we can work on moving forward.
We can review the film and work on it.
We can watch the game tape, work out the kinks.
Not all of it. Not even Tyson Bajent was perfect today. So, I mean, he was pretty close, but he did have an interception and a few incompletions. So there's always room for improvement, Travis, and it looks like Dylan's about to get Tyson, but I'm going to guess he's your player of the game as well, probably, or at least one you could give out probably in offense and defense today. But anytime you throw for over 350 yards, I mean, that's pretty tough to pass up.
That's a good day at the office.
So with our player of the game, or at least one that we were going to shout out, is Dylan Bishop momentarily. And once we get Dylan with Tyson, we will send it down to him. And it looks like Tyson Bajent is standing by with our own Dylan Bishop. So take it away, Dylan.
Some big win for you guys tonight. All three phases of the game were successful. You had a lot of help around you. Cook and Ronnie Brown both with 100 yards receiving and rushing for you, multiple touchdowns each. What's it mean to have all those guys around you?
I think it was special. We knew coming into this game that we were going to have somebody new step up and make plays. I think Marlon Cook was that guy for us, along with a bunch of other names that don't need to be mentioned, but they know. I think like you said, we won it in all three phases. Offense kind of hit a couple roadblocks in the first half, but I think we kind of found our stride, able to get some points on the board, able to put a couple fluent drives together. And we're a young team, so starting off with a win is definitely important and something that's super special.
Now, I know you like to focus on your teammates and the team game overall, but for yourself personally, what's it like to be back out on the field here week one, get a big win, and have a big game for yourself too?
I think, personally, I think this was the most comfortable week one I've ever felt. Just kind of felt on the same page with everything, kind of felt comfortable back there, not really too worried this year if I'm getting hit, because I'm just, it's part of the game, just kind of stepping into all the throws, making plays, and just really focusing on each play at hand.
All right, one more thing. What do you build on this into week two? How do you build on this?
I said I wanted to take care of the ball, let one slip away there on the goal line, so there's always room for improvement. You got to focus more on that next week.
All right, Tyson, thank you very much. We'll see you on Monday.
I was waiting for Dylan to potentially surprise me and tell me back to you, but he didn't do that. So thank you, Dylan, though, and thank you, Tyson Bajent, Rams quarterback. Great performance from him. Now we'll take our 2-minute break. On the other side of that break, we will wrap things up here. We'll get you the stats. We'll mention those guys that Tyson didn't feel like naming because there were a lot of them that made big plays today, and we'll get you all that on the Pal Sounds post-game show coming up after 2 minutes.
This is Ben Copenhaver, your local alarm professional at Dynamark Atlantic Security. Did you know that home break-ins are 6% more likely during the day? That's right. The bad guys know when you're away, and they are smarter than you think. Dynamark Atlantic Security has the security solutions for you. Don't commit the error when the game is on the line. Phone me today at 304-671-2158 to learn how to play good defense against the bad guys. Dynamark Atlantic Security. Call today at 304-671-2158.
With Honda, every summer adventure is the destination. Take your adventures even farther with Honda, America's most fuel-efficient full-line automaker. For a limited time, well-qualified buyers can get a 2.9% APR on a 2022 Honda Civic and a 3.9% APR on a 2022 Accord or 2023 HRV.
CMA's Honda of Winchester, 3985 Valley Pike. CMA, moving lives forward.
See dealer for financing details. Exclude Civic Si based on EPA estimate of MY20 full-line automaker fleet-wide fuel economy 2021 EPA Automotive Trends Report.
Larry DeMarco team at Modern Realty Results believes buying a new home requires a dedicated team that cares about your needs and concerns. Our experienced team is from the area, and we care about this community because it is our home as well. Whether it's a $30,000 home or a $3 million home, we will be hands-on and invested throughout the entire process. Thinking of buying or selling in West Virginia? We've got the tri-state area covered.
It's the post-game show as we recap the scoring, bring you stats and analysis, scores from around the PSAC and Super Region 1, the Division 1 Top 25, and the latest on the West Virginia University Mountaineers and Marshall University Thundering Herd. Let's get it started as we go back to the field and rejoin our TV10 broadcast team.
Give me back to Southern Connecticut State University. Nick Verzolini here and Travis Smith on the Palace Lounge postgame show, brought to you by the Palace Lounge on Edwin Miller Boulevard in Martinsburg, with a full lunch and dinner menu with daily specials and a clean, comfortable atmosphere. Check out the menu on the Palace Lounge Facebook page. We'll start by rolling off some postgame stats here. Brought to you by Bechtel Jewelers, West Virginia's largest Pandora retailer, located on Route 11 South in Inwood, taking care of you like nobody's business. We'll start with the Rams quarterback. 394 yards today for the senior Tyson Bagent. Not a bad outing at all, but hey, he didn't get 400. But probably could have. A great outing for Bagent today. And he had some great guys around him making plays. Marlon Cook goes for 8 catches. Ryan Beach with 8 as well. Ronnie Brown with 6. Max Fisher with 4. And then Marlon Cook had 154 receiving yards, so quite a day for him, along with 2 touchdowns. Ryan Beach had 78 receiving yards and 2 touchdowns. Brian Walker gets 56. Ronnie Brown gets 46 receiving yards and 113 rushing yards. Blake Hartman finishes with 46 yards on the ground. Avon Holly, 24. Bagent had 10 himself. And Beach actually had 3 touchdowns today. Cook had 2, and Brown had 2 for Shepard. 1 rushing, 1 receiving for Ronnie Brown. On the Southern Connecticut State side, it wasn't a ton to talk about, but Mark Reale had a decent game, finished with 113 passing yards, most of those coming in the second half. Joe Bernard goes for 62. Reale, though, does leave the game with an injury, so hope the best for him. Tylon Papalo, we talked about kind of a tough outing for him. He did get 3 catches, along with Souls with 3 catches, and Tim O'Shea with 3 catches to lead the way for Southern Connecticut State. Papalo did lead the team in receiving yards as well with 42. Javon Jones, though, had 41. Ryan Souls had 32. Deontay Wilson had 24 yards receiving and a touchdown on the day, 33 yards for Wilson rushing. Souls had 25 yards rushing. Martin had 6. And as I mentioned, Wilson with that lone touchdown. Some defensive standouts real quick for both teams. We'll start with Shepard. Dwayne Grantham, 8 tackles, 2 interceptions for him. Big day for him. Could definitely be another one of those player of the games. As we mentioned, Bagent was our player of the game, but if you had to give it to somebody else, especially on the defensive side, Grantham definitely stood out. Keyshawn Haley, 6 tackles. Kevin Kauser with 6 tackles, Devin Lynch with 4. Those are the leaders for Shepherd. For Southern Connecticut State, Robert Nunez had 12 tackles on the day. Hassan Dominic had 9. Joe DeGello had 8. And Richard Williams with 7 for the Owls. So, Travis, let's go ahead and get into some of these awards for the game. We'll start with the electrifying play of the game, brought to you by Orsini's Home Store. Not just an appliance store any longer, 360 Hack Wilson Way in Martinsburg, or online at orsinis.com. I have a few that come to my mind. Any come to your mind off the top of your head here?
Well, the first run for Ronnie Brown.
That's what I was actually going to say.
There we go. Great minds.
So, hey, we're on the same page there. Really, anytime Ronnie Brown touched the football.
It's an exciting play. Yeah, it's an exciting play all the time.
Even if it's just getting back to the line of scrimmage. So Ronnie Brown with the electrifying play of the game. Collision of the game. I have one that comes to mind. I don't know if you do.
I would have to say the one where Keyshawn Haley comes up and lowers the boom on the running back, and he felt a little bit of the boom himself, but that was a noteworthy collision of the game.
It definitely was. That is brought to you by Cody's Body Shop at 851 Wilson Street in Martinsburg. Family-owned, offering superior customer service and great pricing for a job done by experienced certified technicians. Call 304-901-4777 or visit their Facebook page. And then finally, our player of the game. We have a new sponsor, though. It's the Bodwell Insurance Solutions. So who's your Bodwell Insurance Solutions player of the game? We already kind of went over it, but just reinstate, I guess.
I'll give you a hint. It's the Harlan Hill winner from last year.
Tyson Bagent?
Yes, Tyson Bagent. You come out, you nearly go for 400 yards in your season opener. I'm going to give it to him.
All right, so that is brought to you by Bodwell Insurance Solutions, a local professional to help you with all of your Medicare needs. Go to BodwellInsuranceSolutions.com or call 304-283-0864. So that pretty much does it for us. We'll hear from Kyle McLaughlin on the other side of this break. I'll have an update on WVU Pitt. That one going on right now in Pittsburgh. Exciting game there. But that does it for us. Once again, your final score, Shepherd with the victory tonight, 48-7. We're back in 10 days for more Shepherd football. They'll play on a Saturday against, 9 days, I should say. Used to the NFL when they say 10 days after Thursday Night Football, but 9 days because they play on Saturdays. That will be a noon kickoff at Rams Stadium. Rams taking on Edinburgh University. So PSAC first game, home opener. Should be a lot of fun for that first game. But that does it here for us from Southern Connecticut State. Again, 2-minute break, and then we'll hear from Colin with the scoreboard show. For Donald Kinney, Dylan Bishop down on the sideline, Spencer Dupuis, our on-site producer, Travis Smith and Colin McLaughlin. I'm Nick Verzolini saying so long here from Jess Dow Field. Once again, your final score, Shepherd 48, Southern Connecticut State 7. Have a good night, everyone.
Located at 4529 Shepherdstown Road in Martinsburg, the Neon Moon Tavern has delicious food and cold beverages. Stop on in Mondays for some mayhem with us and Shepherd quarterback Tyson Bagent, or on Tuesday for some gourmet tacos. Wednesdays is whiskey and trivia night. Thursday is steak night. Fridays are dinner specials. Saturdays there's live music. And Sunday morning is brunch. We're open every day from 11 a.m. to 3 a.m. Call us at 304-260-4002 for takeout or stop on in to the Neon Moon Tavern.
Hi, I'm Annette McDonald, and I am the designer at Orsini's in Martinsburg, West Virginia. We welcome you into our store to show you a complete line of what we do here. We design your cabinetry, quartz countertops, granite countertops, hardware, anything for the full remodel of your kitchen and your home needs. We also do bathrooms, and we have flooring available too. We make sure that your project with Orsini's is the best in the market. Welcome to Orsini's.
Orsinis.com. Erie Insurance says here's to the grown-ups who move, mortgage, mow, and still bust a move. But does your home insurance still fit? Erie helps you protect the home you've grown into, all at fair prices that are often less than the other guys. So how do you find the right coverage? Magic. Nope. Local independent agents who get to know you like this.
Your local Erie agent in Martinsburg is Smallwood & Small Insurance. Get a quote at smallwoodandsmall.com.
Erie Insurance.
I pre-planned my funeral to make it easier on my family. They were relieved to know I'll get just what I want.
My family actually thanked me for taking matters into my own hands. Turns out having this awkward conversation wasn't awkward at all.
Pre-planning is my choice. There are certain things about me my family may not know. Now they won't need to guess.
The choices are yours. The peace of mind is theirs. Pre-plan your funeral with Brown Funeral Homes and everything will be taken care of. Find out more online at brownfuneralhomeswv.com. Brown Funeral Homes, here for you.
Welcome into the post-game scoreboard show. Colin McLaughlin here for TV10 and WRNR TV on YouTube as the Shepherd Rams are victorious in the season opener by a final score of 48-7 over Southern Connecticut State. Let's now get into some other Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference scores. In the fourth quarter with 2:47 to go, it is West Liberty currently leading Clarion by a score of 21-14. In the third quarter with 2:38 left, it's number 21 California leading Fairmont State 28-9. And at the half, it is Pace leading East Stroudsburg 20-6. Some other scores going on in the PSAC at the half as well. It is Gannon in the lead of Charleston by a score of 27-6. And at the half, it is St. Anselm leading Millersville 7-3. Also at the half, it is Wheeling leading Seton Hill by a score of 9-2. Your other PSAC games that will take place this week: tomorrow night at 6 p.m., Westchester hosts Bentley University. Then on Saturday, Kutztown is at Assumption at noon. Lock Haven is at Post at noon. Shippensburg is at West Virginia State at 1 p.m. Edinburgh takes on Franklin Pierce University at 1 p.m. Stonehill College goes to Bloomsburg at 2 p.m. Wayne State University goes to Slippery Rock at 6 p.m. and Mercyhurst takes on Alderson Broadus at 6 p.m. Those are your PSAC scores. Again, Shepherd getting the 48-7 win. We'll take a 2-minute break, then come back and give you some Division I scores.
My kids, you know I want the best for you, don't you? We need to have a conversation.
End-of-life planning is no one's favorite discussion, but the relief of having everything in place when the hour of need arrives is a gift. Give it to your family. Plan ahead with us.
Brown Funeral Homes, a leading provider of cremations, invites you to explore the many flexible options of cremation. From environmental considerations to the benefit of greatly reduced cost, it may be the perfect answer for your family. Online at brownfuneralhomeswv.com. Brown Funeral Homes, here for you.
When will I be able to retire? How do I make the most of the money I have? How do I leave a lasting legacy to my loved ones? I'm Philip McCoy, financial advisor with the Mirius Group, a private wealth advisory practice of Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated. Call us today at 304-263-4343 to help you make the most of your financial future. Our office is located at 1270 Winchester Avenue, Martinsburg, West Virginia.
Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated, member FINRA and SIPC.
If you're in an accident, the first thing that you have to do is call 911. You have to get medical care immediately.
The next thing you need to do is call us. When you hire us at the Skinner Law Firm, what we do is we are going to investigate your case, and we're going to lay out the options that you have, all at no cost to you.
We will use all of our resources and all of our experience to get you what you deserve. That's what we mean by treating you like family.
This is Ben Copenhaver, your local alarm professional at Dynamark Atlantic Security. Did you know that home break-ins are 6% more likely during the day? That's right. The bad guys know when you're away, and they are smarter than you think. Dynamark Atlantic Security has the security solutions for you. Don't commit the error when the game is on the line. Phone me today at 304-671-2158 to learn how to play good defense against the bad guys. Dynamark Atlantic Security. Call today at 304-671-2158.
Welcome back into the final segment of the scoreboard show as the Shepherd Rams defeat the Southern Connecticut State Owls 48-7. Let's now get into some Division I scores. A lot of games going on tonight, including on the radio side on Talk Radio WRNR 106.5 FM, 740 AM, the 105th edition of the Backyard Brawl. And right now, 2:14 to go in the second quarter between West Virginia and the 17th ranked Pitt Panthers, and it is Pitt currently leading by a score of 10-7, but right now West Virginia has a 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line for the Mountaineers, so WVU trying to get some offense going and retake the lead before the half. Other games going on in Division I football, it is St. Francis, PA, currently losing to Akron starting the fourth quarter. It is 17-6, almost at halftime. Number 12, Oklahoma State leads Central Michigan 37-15. Also almost at the half, it's Tennessee all over Ball State 38-0. UCF leads South Carolina State with a minute to go in the second quarter, 28-3. At the halftime, it's Bryant leading FIU 16-6. Long Island is currently losing to Toledo with a minute to go in the second quarter, 20-0. And with 9:25 to go in the second, it is number 22 Wake Forest leading VMI 17-0. 3:38 to go in the first, Penn State and Purdue. Purdue just took the lead on a field goal, so it's 3-0 now. 2:11 to go in the first. Northern Illinois leads Eastern Illinois 7-0. UAB leads Alabama A&M 21-0. And Louisiana Tech currently up on Missouri 3-0. Those are your scores around D1. I'm Colin McLaughlin signing off here on the Scoreboard Show. Again, final score, Shepherd 48. Southern Connecticut State 7. Until tomorrow when we have Martinsburg football on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10 with the pregame at 6, kickoff at 7. Have a great rest of your evening.
You've been watching play-by-play coverage of NCAA Division II football, featuring the Shepherd University Rams and the Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference. Today's telecast has been brought to you by the Neon Moon Tavern, Orsini's Home Store, Parsons Ford of Martinsburg, the Skinner Law Firm, Smallwood and Small Insurance Group, W. Harley Miller Systems, and WVU Medicine. TV 10 Sports thanks you for watching today's presentation of Shepherd Rams football. All rights reserved.